Are you judging?
Yes, I am.
Have fun.
No.
Bye, Z.
Bye.
Not your.
Is this a policy round?
No comment.
Huh?
There might be a criticism.
Oh! Hey, bro, y'all got a coin, bro? You know I'm serious.
totally
You know I'm
down.
serious.
I'm
bro.
down. I mean, I go home 3 hours early.
I ain't gonna lie. Y'all want to?
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I have coins.
I was not, bro. Oh, wait, this recording? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. We are recording, right? Wait, is this live?
No.
Oh, I was about to say.
I'll edit that out.
No. Leave it. Leave it.
Actually, no. There's a live chat listening to you right
Good.
now.
It's for people to not prep me. Oh, wait, who's out? Okay. Are you reading T-Star or Shirley? No, I'm sorry. I had to. I'm sorry.
Hey.
Oh.
I mean, we can.
No, relax, Shirley. No.
Like I told you what I want one part of me.
Yeah. I don't know if Dimarvin wants something to do one another though.
What? Like that good?
Oh.
I got excited for a second. Do y'all add WFU DBT at the email thing?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Please make this easy for me. Just drop something. Either thing.
You drop a full disab, we'll drop a full advantage and make him decide.
Yes. And then both are extinction, please.
That's the coin flip you wanted, right?
Yes. I'll be like, what's your trouble with that? I was joking about being pressed by y'all, bro. I thought y'all were lying.
I got the pairing and I was thinking about Northwestern. You were like, please don't put me in a policy debate. Please don't put me in a
Bro,
policy
then I
debate.
got GH in Northwestern. I'm like, bro, what? Oh, how's Daniel, by the way?
He's in the ER, but I think he'll be fine.
Okay.
Wait, what?
He has appendicitis, or he did last week, and it like flared up, and so he had treatment to see the last 2 months. But I think he's
Wait, what's pen and then
it's like this, like your organ here.
The
Organ?
You have to
appendix.
get it, your appendix. Like you have to get it removed.
Most people get it removed when they have it, but he didn't. He just got like.
that man
Whatever.
thinks he's tough. It's not.
That's what I said.
Nah, you weren't kidding. Alright, let's do this. The USFG. Or you're breaking new and it's okay, yeah. Oh.
You could not read the plan and also want to get to that point.
Alright, hey. That would not be fun for me.
It blocks my last. Wait, did you all get the one he sent?
No.
It blocks my messages.
Oh.
You were blocked by them. That's crazy.
Not
Yes,
bad.
so.
Hey, sounds like a link.
We're changing the one I see.
Let me know if you get this one.
Okay.
You got WFU DVD?
Mm.
Okay, go us. I gotta have this round for BM, unfortunately.
I got this one.
I don't know.
You obviously blocked your emails.
Again, yeah, it's all laughing jokes now, so once my RB comes in, y'all better be laughing. Remember that chat? This should better get like 1,000 views. Now that ass, if I do a good decision, I'm gonna post it on my LinkedIn. It was just 100,000. Oh my god. Carbon tech. Oh shit.
Okay, is everyone good?
Yeah.
So we can
Oh, I swear I think you said I'm taking the prep. I'm like, bro, relax. Wait, why didn't you hoop yesterday?
I did prep.
Bro,
No.
for what, this debate?
This weekend.
Who are you prepping for? Games in debate? Like, oh, my fault. I'm just.
I'll play next year.
Alright.
It's the Dimarvin Classic. I
I heard it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Wait, it's different.
These are good things.
Not
But when I see
You're good.
I swear, if this is a procedure, bro, I don't know what the fuck.
Your email didn't come through, but you should
I can show you the blocked mode.
So this is a different app than.
No, it's like one new card.
Okay. No, I swear this is hard to do, bro. No, bro. Wait, I'm waiting on you.
Okay, are you all ready?
Yeah, we're good.
Cool. The United States regular should adopt a price on greenhouse gas emissions. The United States adjusted monthly based on the difference between global market prices and increasing domestic target price, starting at approximately $54. Advantage 1 is oil. Price volatility is structurally inevitable. Year 24, geopolitical price and risk premiums, posing concepts landed dominated by secondary space system, volatile interest exchange missiles and China stimulus package prices, rose $80 beyond a sub 10% rally causes, by investors positioning aggregate selling among falling cash funds, sinking money into oil markets excessively behind with prices, now prices rising and aggressively slow when falling market performance is had again, when the market flows is anyone else's never ending cycle, fluctuation under cost physical planning and power production, necessary for factoritis, ASD 22 fuel, price volatility requires heavy applications, disruptive investment programs for parent readiness, when just declining funds are increasingly limited, when volatility exceeds the capacity of the cost to absorb costs, large increases depending on Nancy funds through reprogramming your secondary exchange price changes Congress rescinds 1 million to build up cash balances will costs continue to decline Congress and reduction to budget will exclude the number one cost driving impacts to GOT and changes continue to impact scale balance readiness the last first grade power war heat April 22 combinations will become execution grade and regional power cost restoration conditions first combat increases China and Russia others taking advantage of disorder security gains for reducing increase uncertainty increases receiving stock long-standing issues through diverse threats weaken of governance raises prospects as these becomes a word of full competition leads into release information to Africa Middle East Asia are reinforcing tension adding structural context change in the relative balance of power most fundamental Japanese more stable international environment raises risk conflicts spread beyond oil volatility plummets the Indian economy volatility is the macroeconomic contagion that devastates government security is Kumar 22 global crude oil prices fluctuations lighting the trade deficit putting tower pressure in New backwards rate and the expert in crude currency and stability of Indian stock market spread a 10% triggers domestic inflation impacting stability of government security security affects the Indian economy via various channels monetary policy customers exchange rate demand global channels crude fluctuations have a feedback on financial indicators of the Indian economy adverse impacts of cross asset shocks delivery stability financial assets of oil with aggravating system delivery effects of crude fluctuations that impact is the indices external shocks Indian growth casts over China regional destabilization global 24 India's turn to economic liberalism economic reforms the company by growth its navy India become enough producer provider of security in the region India increasing investing in economic order which China's wishes to be detrimental economic reform as a watershed for India's foreign policy of course India's wishes to reform itself for regional order service international interest stability balance of power of China however as China becomes the obvious most ability capabilities economic challenges the preventing for achieving parity national security American expansion of student horizons which economic growth analysts beyond its immediate neighborhood assessing wish to national security stability grid where Indo-Pacific region and leadership sets works with like many partners economic instability causes diversity in a war goes nuclear over Kashmir by 22 Kashmir election in Pakistan and the Palestinian conflict economic stability influences crisis in Kashmir where political leaders through the east in the Kashmir situation of diversity with a high unrest with the number of crises increasing domestic instability prevents what can easily lead to nuclear war is essential to make experts to stabilize India to curb another interpac war triggers Indo-China conflict monster 18 nature shows to be already to the status and guidance that Indian forces create a dangerous incentives to China actually attempt to defuse assassination pressures creating things to create issues instability China does not want to fight moving have the opposite effect he goes nuclear roster 24 China India Pakistan China by interest in instability sets nuclear non-use seriously the theory for nuclear use precarities in territory disputes to moderation nuclearization student competition and compound drivers of instability bringing the region close to nuclear crisis next China radio outfarms the overall China India relations growing more tense amid competing foreign policies locating revolution how easily overcome the next territory dispute erupting ancient nuclear use the plan solves it adopts a flexible quantity based and border adjusted tax on emissions and decouples growth from destruction choice of 24 overcoming economic crisis and states renewable services raise economic growth mitigate crisis through means for welfare CO2 emissions is problematic structurally from the past to the future one national rate price of oil rising faster than general price level emissions would become more expensive would have incentivized renewable energy emissions would be collected capital purchase and steadily rising prices with scheme out sugar rates and market price uncertainty would be eliminated should be priced through target taxes for trading to incentivize reduction as two costs numbers to make smooth calculations around CO2 prices to uncertainty about financial risks instead of action generally rising prices for oil means not location supporting tax to fluctuate by label not expectation by investment to raise supported detriment and willingness to invest small but permanent increase in prices decrease not generate large volume of investment pricing not fossil energy would initiate long lasting payment avoiding of emissions supported such as supported carbon adjustment people from the price will rise permanently occurring number will choose EV steadily rising fossil energy prices are necessary condition for transition it's necessary and sufficient to incentivize clean energy the investments while automatic stabilizing prices services 22 growth is also stable to do with has become cheaper for the world, remains to see whether we better sustain image of last impossible prices, low prices, lastly, better discouraging R&D price collapse represents an excellent opportunity for living corporate taxes, a reduced political cost, tax of $54 per mission as results, an increase of less than 50 cents for this tax flexibility time, so much oil function is out of similar to every $5 increase in the oil, the tax to be lowered amounts prices would increase over time in line with over progress while buffering consumers from volatility does little notice politically uncontroversial effective taxes are tied to changing oil prices, else supply and demand for fossil will continue until Salam 22. Carbon access is showing timing of economic limit leading to decommissioning state of facility, goals of decarbonization and transition for operators. The optimal time of decommissioning is can accommodate with price uncertainties that here price oil price actually decommission release pronounced under low prices and higher oil price volatility, high prices and carbon price as well as level to facilitate the energy transition by fastening the economic limit depending on prevailing oil environment and coverage. There are no to all causes. Economic uncertainty is the largest determinant of volatility and is coupled with common magnifiers pricing. So on 22 study examines by uncertainty risk and prices. In fact, economic policy uncertainty area market is great because motivation superpowers and intermediate geopolitical contentions and maintain stability made weaken links between geopolitical risk and oil prices. Thus, economic policy is extremely important as risk business. And geopolitical risk and economic policy uncertainty increases in trade policy, national disaster, disease, and progressing investments and investors to consider existing risks and fluctuation of uncertainty policy based on assumption of the way markets stabilize the market and reduce variation and jobs price mechanism according to market conditions. Advantage 2 is warming. The U.S. is not on track to meet emission reduction goals. Guaranteeing how much for warming. A carbon action source possible for critical measures to pass by the King Cuddy. So when carbon pricing was directed back to waste mitigating climate change to manage control methods not sufficient. You will only reduce half of goals that carbon pricing and resistance reduce emissions ESG PRs for reduced to offset increasing energy costs to low income households road adjusted issues. Domestic workers see similar reduction costs research relocating products. Domestic jobs reduce production for liquid possibility shares. Encourages countries to recruit and capital practices makes little sense. It's road adjustment without carbon price really actually makes useful to potentially negotiate with the UCN. It will make short word adjustment lack of price increase uncertainty with that. Guarantees the federal government firms that internal price level and recommended federal carbon price less firms have long and term investment robust carbon price insurance to assets infrastructure working prepare for tax transition so you can better so eco centers low carbon reduction and capital student companies begin more competitively over climate change cause extinction mitigation by taxation is critical to avoid tipping points rule. It also 24 and pre-severe rules of disaster critical and pursue ways of climate scientists 15,000 sound alarm until moving in construction track pursuing 7 human costs emission carbon charges turn to ice over reason by more enormous portions possible consumption rates for the solar wind shooter as well as just to release living natural solutions to the words of record high fuels and become more than 1,000 earth systems shortly than later extra weather increases dramatically temperatures rising global correlate preaching countries economy scientists anticipate temperatures increase at least 2.5 emissions to add complex and migration will surpass anything that's far existing on cultural consequence humanity time accidental virus news responsibility every time temperature warming is critically important today be at least enhances 2020 inhibiting paper minerals glacial meltwater biotine tipping points trigger universal changes one may trigger tipping points heat is one aspect of crisis climate change increases like a catastrophic risk interaction causes system like if failures facing down possible economy and accomplished through carbon price critical mitigating climate change reason obviously hangs in the balance impact of business along Iceland and Team Hill combination of listed videos and not natural so natural climate research at least I have the world's change less centrifuges and 80% sometimes number change cannot be the cause of warming which is not for 60 lives this year increased to be cool they are scientists manipulate data she requires conspiracy covering thousands and more than 100 countries models do sensitive announcements as well as this huge range over 20 inch international center with GCM today and there's have to be confidence and not disagree also didn't want to work extra carbon adding steel to meet and the similar to complexity it disrupts current flows which overcomes defense and independently causing extinction curve 24 Emotions were awards to Europe and Rock City Crater has been interrupted since last ice age, showing clips of sending off for public. Fossil energy impacting the growing the warmer as heat and atmospheres exhorts contributes to melting Arctic current would collapse there. And the warning 95% of the get somewhere between 25 and 95 impacts for storms and miles of catastrophic consequences impacts to global adaptation. Severe climate catastrophe is not viable and it's not viable consequences are unthinkable. Random regions uninhabitable and unfavorable and leaching consequences consequences are apocalyptic. Carbon pricing is key just for widespread innovation renewable technology limit for March 23. Promoting innovation, studying sustainable carbon derivative price, incentives for RT conventional carriers to issue carbon pricing, increases in pay costs with 7 cents to innovate offset pricing, increase in 500 severely on border taxes to penalize the imports and innovation reducing rocks enough to offset leakages mitigation creates global public good. Intensive industry to higher tax reductions as a whole to benefit. It's the only instrument that sufficiently incentivizes development. Vandenberg involved in 24 pricing controls for the channels increases emissions compensated through a higher price alternative instruments for value exchange use phase 2 versus the subsidies made an option more photos over 2022 so studies and they would break down 50% means effectiveness is more than half of that pricing final price is not refers to differences used are not similar to minimum emission studies on a rate of effectiveness 3 BC 50% Germany UK pricing results in 94% lower costs without subsidies. The Vandenberg and Boston evidence aren't subsidies.
Got subsidies?
Perfect. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Housekeeping things. Does the plan fee out of BCA?
It's yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
same rate as the tax or different rate?
So the plan text to be clear, does not include BTA because for like
Okay,
issue
but
reasons we don't think
normal
that
means of
should
the
be
app would be a BCA,
But
and
normal
you'll
means
defend
is that,
it
yes,
versus
normal
deficit.
means is that the
Great.
app is enforced by BTA.
Plan says, quote, an increasing domestic target price can that ever be decreased, reversed based off of some other, based off the price of oil.
Rolly?
Sorry, what?
Is it always increasing? Can it decrease?
It is always increasing.
Great.
The target price is always increasing. That does not mean that the tax is always increasing.
Okay, so, wait, walk me through that. Tax can decrease.
Annually-
What is the basis for the tax decreasing but the target price?
Annually, the price that we would like fossil fuels to be at increases. Monthly, we would adjust it based on global market prices.
Let's talk about that specific example. The Dervis evidence on the oil advantage says that in a world where oil prices increase, carbon tax should decrease dramatically. If you only do month-to-month shifts, how does that solve?
Well, I mean, it would not decrease dramatically. It would decrease the same amount that the price increased since
Well,
last
the evidence is like a dramatic change. It's like $5, $10 when oil prices go up only a couple dollars.
Right.
Confused.
What do you mean? Like, what's the question? How does it solve
Yeah.
climate?
How
does
is
it
the
solve
app? How is the app able to meet that dramatic decrease to stabilize oil prices?
dramatic decrease in
Yeah,
price?
you have made a claim. There has to be a dramatic decrease to stabilize oil prices. You have said that
Yeah,
it's
we would
month-to-month
decrease-
small
we would
changes.
Decrease the price by the same amount that the price went up.
Okay, that's
so
fine.
the price would be the exact same.
Warming advantage. How fast does the transition to renewables need to happen in order to solve warming? How many emissions do you need to cut?
There's a couple internal links. One is that it just drastically decreases consumption because it prices externalities that are not currently priced. But the second, we've read a ton of evidence, the Lemon-Prakash evidence, as well as the Vandenberg and Boston evidence, says that it causes a drastic, rapid scale-up of renewables
Okay.
that sufficiently incentivizes development to avert existential warming levels.
Okay, are companies still invested in fossil fuel assets, or is your claim that a massive shift in renewables
Well,
means those
obviously
companies
the plan does
divest?
not result in immediate divestment from all fossil fuels. That's infeasible, but our evidence says that it does increase renewables sufficient to avert warming impacts.
The China-India scenario, your India growth caps conflict. Is the argument that like in a world where economic decline happens, India would just go to conflict with China? What's the interpretation?
Well, our evidence says that broadly it's key to stability between the triad of India, Pakistan, and China. We've read a ton of warrants for why the dynamics between those
I guess
have
I'm
changed in
looking
the context
for
of
the
Pakistan.
actor that would start the conflict in a world where there's like low oil prices, instability.
I mean, it's
How's
kind
the
of a dissatisfying response because we've read a ton of arguments for different actors that can start the conflict. For example, we've read a card that China could start the conflict in order to
What's China's incentives to start a conflict with India and Pakistan in a world
The
of low oil
Mastro
prices?
evidence is quite good and says that in order to show domestic audiences its strength, China could lash out at India, which would inadvertently escalate to nuclear war.
What evidence is that?
The Mastro evidence.
I sent it out. The order is 5 off. The warming advantage, the oil advantage.
Hey, chat, I'm trying. I'm sweating over here, chat. There's sweats. Oh, you said 5.
Yeah. Can I borrow y'all's stamp?
Yeah.
Y'all see how investment. Hey,
Yeah.
I see the investment. I see the investment.
Well,
Could you send it again with Rolly on the chain?
Yes.
Oh, that's a link for y'all.
What's your email?
I replied all with Rolly, so.
Alright, let's see.
So many email
shit.
problems.
T. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I looked at the background.
oh, I just got the whole chain.
Yeah, it probably doesn't have the one. Does it have the one it's or?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
Okay.
do you have it?
Yeah.
okay.
Wait, were you on it the whole time?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Interesting.
Fair enough.
Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see this file.
Alright. 5. Alright, I'm good.
Serena.
It's round 4.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
First off, atomic carbon interpretation and energy policy is limited to limiting emissions from energy consumption and assisting for broader climate policy. Duty 22. The term energy policy refers to measure benefit energy sources. Climate policy covers areas not linked to energy such as energy agriculture, forestry, energy policy refers to element climate policy that directly touch on energy consumption. Violation the opposite price on greenhouse gas emissions. That broader includes all emissions not just those from energy but negative extra calculated. Undermines more negative policy deficits and cattle plants depending on acting outside of energy. Bid scheme of inches land the app and anything outside of the bounds of the resolution tax attack. For the app, next up is the green paradox cattle plant. The federal government should adopt an annually decreasing income by tax on greenhouse gas emissions in the United States. They can peace. The plain text says the gap has increase in cattle plants reverse at the same rate. Only that can solve warming. Hagen. In 16, carbon tax should decline over time. Increase in taxes. Other emissions of future penalty is a degree but increase in tax negative profit would maybe starting forward climate policies to increase emissions. There's a large literature following this phenomenon of the declining price of value of the cows for carbon emissions towards the time. The path of consumer associated with the total tax also declines over time. Otherwise, projects will hold forward exacerbating emissions in as well. Warming will be accelerated by the tax change over time to make it pertain towards the new government promise. The tax rate will increase moderately as the world's grows momentum with the advanced stronger action makes substantial increases likely to EU. Recommended reason that over the tax 70% above inflation aided with the increase in extraction triggered by such a high growth rate of the carbon tax rate would be unleashed a strong acceleration of competition. One hopes that the tax would offer a better protection against the green paradox of tax rates are fast enough to trigger detrimental supply reaction limitation would be larger with the tax. Based on rolling projection of the damage from the carbon as the marginal damage increase would lead to upward revision of the tax to nothing. It would preclude the increase from being sufficiently large to trigger the green paradox of errors. It could payment of the below new carbon dioxide figure with that of slowing down to politicians and drive their car into a ditch. Next up is the inflation disk that the federal government, the United States federal government should prohibit cutting taxes and increase in tariffs and deportations. Rate cuts are on track. Inflation down on energy is key. Candle 11, 13 and key inflation. It's to keep the federal target below rates of the ACP at bound expectation of the target your opponent in the right direction. But there was not a month that is on record and particularly to get more than 80% chance of the Fed cuts rates at the end of the Fed. The job still limited to the oil gas that given inflation and containment any additional oil gas get the easier with the carbon price that has a target. Unforeseen, the carbon price triggers fast inflation and Fed reaction hiking rates. In the case of 17, suppose the center because of target inflation 3% of the government is opposed to the carbon tax that takes affecting the United States mid target privatization held at temporary inflation stack up to the price of goods would be permanently higher. Bank was it expected to respond by reason each state practice fluctuation in the economy but who will have to overtake policies different the impact of the tax from that of a fancy bank. Mimic all of the inflation to raise interest rates far more than would be desired with the bank. It would tighten monetary policy even further. Expectation of future costs is an exponential boon to AI innovation. Charter 9.3 Fed. The reductions marks AI variation rates falling benefiting AI lower costs and capital impale. AI enablers adopters and benefiting AI enablers and new easing by the benefits where AI to generate AI benefit with the fast GPU easing. Opening and regrowth increase investment in research and innovation purposes developing AI tech from ML relying on capital assets are already lower powering costs. Reduce sort of space by AI enablers and adopters doing AI innovation. This could try to breakthroughs in AI positioning sustainable long-term growth. The fast rate cut gives a second breathing room to expand with the revolution supposed to accelerate. AI innovation filters existential risk mechanism 22 AI delivers extraordinary benefits regarding its existential risk. It helps develop the vaccines and allocate particular risks of penalties of code and targeting by usable treatment. Machine learning synthesis drug speed recovering intelligence and helping rapid development in AI resisting about the warming against the banding AI. Prevent all demands and machine intelligence to provide early warning for having specific determinants more deadly than both existential obtaining of not only right gap 11. Humanities keep addressing and get the right workers organizing if they have to avoid them all AI projects. Climate change helps in how to make agitation helps in retrieving the efficient work. Climate change helps in the less well known existential threats as restriction and environment exposure to prediction that AI can foresaw large scale catastrophes. Next up is the policy says that NDAA will pass now later in 1024 e-commerce. The set to return November 11th. The House passes NDAA. Otherwise, the new House is heavily compromises. So the bill will pass in claim. Carbon pricing is a partisan distraction that gets watered down in insolvency. Global and 19 carbon pricing yields highly visible costs with the present random physics of the carbon pricing is a little political appeal. Given we're opting for climate action, highly climate movement is a term that's a tool and it will potentially contribute to opportunity costs where the carbon pricing is spent object due to political capital spend. And so push it through carbon pricing to low terms for production. We need to win carbon pricing so become political or spend. Water time to be no longer deliver benefits as the first best option of Canada. That become a policy distraction. Bipartisan and focus are key to quick passage funding the defense funding into the chain refers to defense and broader fights over the physical play for modernization war with Russia, China, and the Middle East. Daniels 24 tilling. Passage until the new calendar year would agree to protect the combination of physical participation of poison and national security as option to December getting there will be required by adding until the new administration threats and high defense of attacks be includes it testing of attacks to Asana. And the next way new budget the field research to others the other able to start modernization of the with the China. Russian medias and the European will come back and change refers to the FAR. FRA it means across the board kind of whatever modernities that return China across the north critical points and Congress should consider message to the position how the parties will have to put political machinations aside and ensure national security is adequately counterparts and coalition will be needed to pass appropriations before the end of the year and avoid superstition committee and intentions. If physical issues are winning in 2025 there was no need to make defense for part of those rights. Adversary programming slow cost making it try to die for modernization extinction created in 23 nations last and fast. This modernization nuclear forces of action now with business and US are incredible to determine the diversity of the same percent existential risk of conflict with major powers here is potential for nuclear war. Next up is the plan lays the blocks for a highway through Armageddon through its paradoxical and driven climate change and tried to sacrifice Sinito. In 23, the fundamental question are together with the ecological dynamics main begin. Mainstream climate change in the kernel around which the problematic conditions are days there is consensus about climate need to take into action now unless we're to grow further data for affirm. But the paradoxical situations it has access to knowledge that does not guarantee innovation action never do happen so the failure is equal to 27 proud on the pet to say contest about what we know to we act as if we do not increase in awareness of the technology post sex theory serious problems no action not taken we need to say not how it Armageddon which is in this between knowing and acting thinking to response understanding competition not only a threat but something contributed to the ways of determining and destroying nature which are positive use and equally the commitment to is taking nature based on from a percent for a sacrifice of two whichever is a fantasy sustained at luck regardless of receiving this education and or attachments to this of abolition of attachment to social media and argues real enjoyment. Vote negative to traverse the fantasy restricting the relationship to enjoyment through mourning and melancholia. To prevent to break from the symbolic order. Standing it out in 23 enjoyment is political sustained at luck to traverse and a fantasy sustained fantastic attachment or the realization which re enjoyment that contrast to sort of design for a movie for organic repetitive feelings and not enjoyment to recognize with the lack of being brain either endorsement of polishing of the super egos and chocolate to enjoy. Common fantasy okay for repetitive feelings to enjoy the news and something was the brain for political enjoyment or recommended enjoyment of social away from sacrificing such until so the attractive test is usually more attachment to greenhouse gases to the end of the right of the constitution 18 is involved in warning from melancholy and recognition of absence where there was no replacement through loss of embracing the new path of open there was enjoyment of forces of response the possibility of real enjoyment of security and freeze everything is developed over enjoyment of surrounding experiences is traumatic. Advantage 1. Advantage 2. Carbon pricing fails inelasticity empiric so 20 in Emory, which is one of the highest prices mentioned in the row 70% of one reason to demand inelasticity below the spin after inelastic prices and receive it because other prices provide cheaper substituting Korea and counter trade and source of first over innovation climate the EU low carbon dividing increase less than 1% of corporation will not innovate these amount of this price of energy the price of oil or collection of tax reduced from 2% they these are nothing compared to what needs to be done. Pricing can only generate incremental changes to lock-ins on our solvency grows the balloon 20 is unclear. But whether pricing can generate more than incremental changes to production of BDA live from business as usual scenarios even the Swedes 140 carbon price pricing for optimization method collector fundamental system change incremental changes in insufficient system characterized by T-block and so on and infrastructure and poultry invention established trajectories. Our models are vast and they show solvencies negligible ROP T21 empirical evaluations of the impact of pricing and inclusive represent empirical model of their approaches identification chart because they're getting novelty to say the years results because of high prices yield only the partial reduction of the report results across a range of model specifications including percent of the associated tax rating pricing even if global is on later which production of scale even to achieve repairs or substantial reductions at all. Adaptation avoids the worst downside worst for customer 23 comments messing complex. The 3 guys is higher than 1.5 short there was some reason to ingenuity but the attack records of the unleashing both causes should never other considerations there are some systems for calls that deliver fractions will live and improve the defense of the low latency paper 7 the rich media becomes a great ability to enter adapt to and act in the public climate. Nowhere may impact geological record throw stat 23 data. It does not give reason to expect climate change to bring back catastrophe give a good reason to expect won't during the peak time of Earth. It was 17 degrees above the PETM did not lead to passage change to tensor off the rising leasing rapid warming force with south here and adding green that actually suggests 10 degrees warming quarter to 60 years history because it's about an episode of 10% hotter than worst season is a holiday season news are 18 is protected for warming can survive. Leakage zero solvency to get less than 19 degrees emission 4% while global emission risen 4% of 10% of this is from taxing jurisdictions that possible energy. As for every million supply chain reports of the university costs also vulnerable to not comply self regarding command policy follow prices elsewhere when negate the emissions. Reduction oil. Gradual devaluation of fossil fuels price and method of financial system carbon 21 oil lose value ever was in financial business not no investor lose money fossil fuels always been receivable prices for negative last year gold ever been hammered when not hand of a crisis that promise and never come from declining into the corrosion of 1920 was not caused by plummeting maple horse run appears as the writing this scenario is utter nonsense no connection between oil writings APSC this is the worst year ever limited to poultry $1 billion from the military which Congress compensated for by increase in defense spending the key evidence of power tactics held is not as they ran it as once no evidence writing is also impact and it's thumbs and now as you build 20 Congress because especially building in the grounds of its dominating budget of the person has been out of a particular resulting in the same picture of positive rights investment of progressive go to Russia or the beginning of the source data services data aircraft the airforce at the time is over 90% of requirements are very pre-data self attack and on about the defense of activities that's what the constitution that also the culture the future project is no impact below 20 all of us focus on rogue states all of it he is reaching out around no government neither random major military government of requirements for containment different regard the use maintain watch worth of political land time to build sanctions that pneumatic reason fail and doesn't maintain stability inserting 1 EC go pull 24 and impact the extent of the introduction of a thesis by college student I'm equally qualified no impact of war there evidence doesn't say the economist key it also says elections are won't go to nuclear king the 19 to the impact isn't like return the history just it was cause for options and carbon with no threat of escalation but the other things that clash with other communities and China with the unit to lows without community capacity of Pakistan military it's rational market card rational no indicate China war saying 20 years and any wars on like the keepers of preemption how high the private acres trusted piece of the LEC preventing the most operating for depending each other's walls that is spoken and was the return into case resolution for the payment for 60 days and of the dock person in the docking price of the issues that's already been a back situation people leave it the control national media.
Okay, cool. Okay then.
Yes, the same evidence is marked as control national media.
Awesome.
There's like 2 sentences left.
Okay.
It's in the mark not.
Yeah.
I want this to be fair. I'm a good policy. No, stop. I ain't gonna lie, you got me with the Advantage 2 first.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
You got me too.
I was like, oh, word?
I'm so used to Warwick being the first range like every act. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I sent it.
Alright.
Cool.
I'll look at it later.
Are you good?
Hmm?
Status of the op.
Conditional status quo is always an option.
Alright, the green paradox counter plan, the counter plan text mandates that the price is not tied to the price of oil. How does it solve the oil volatility advantage?
Well, I think the evidence you've read in the 1AC does not necessarily say that it has to be tied to the price of oil to solve
That's
volatility.
wrong.
Your evidence is pretty generic in just saying that we should
No, we read a hyper-specific solvency advocate that states the text of the plan.
I think that evidence is much worse than you're giving it credit for.
I
The evidence is
disagree.
like we should price it at $250
I don't really
per
wanna
metric
get
ton
into
of carbon
this.
or
Can you just
$54.
Can you just explain how you think this text as written solves the oil volatility advantage?
I mean, Ethan's given the answer that we will give. In fact, that we think that a carbon tax that is set at a price is able to still create stability in oil prices.
Alright,
We think
sure.
that
The United States federal, okay, so it doesn't specify a price. Will you specify a price?
same price at the half starts at. What is it,
Okay.
$54?
$54.
I want to talk about the rate cuts impact. So I'm going to go through the existential risks in the McGinnis evidence. The first is that AI can help develop vaccines. Can you explain how?
How it develops vaccines.
Why AI is better at developing vaccines?
Yeah, so the evidence, the McGinnis evidence says that machine learning can help isolate the specific things like RNA proteins, which are necessary to develop vaccines. So it can isolate specific protein synthesis of,
Absent
like
that
COVID.
isolation, why are diseases existential?
sorry, what's,
Absent isolating those proteins, why are diseases existential?
the McGinnis evidence is pretty specific that says there are a slew of future pandemic threats that machine learning is able to solve because we've developed vaccines.
Alright,
It
the-
explicitly says pandemics are an existential threat
Okay.
that AI is able to solve.
Okay, the second impact in the card is about asteroids. It says that AI neural nets could develop to predict asteroid strikes. What's the implication of that? How would we respond to asteroids if we could predict them? How does it predict them?
Not sure exactly. It says the government is not paying close enough attention to asteroids and we are not predicting them accurately. I'm obviously not a scientist or NASA to determine how we respond to the asteroids. I wish I was, but I don't think I'm the one that makes that determination.
Alright, so it's just like any AI innovation means that we have neural nets. Why wouldn't like global AI innovation from China solve that? Like why couldn't that result in neural nets that predict where asteroids are?
I mean, 1C evidence is specific to U.S. AI innovation. Obviously, you make the argument
It's
that
not though.
obviously, if you make the argument China, etc., we'll answer it with U.S. key specific
Sure,
arguments, but
sure.
not an
That's-
argument
that's fair
based
enough.
on utilitarianism.
The K, can the alternative result in a carbon tax?
Not a carbon tax, but can solve the impacts to the app.
How does it solve the impacts of the app?
We think that traversing the fantasy to challenge the way we frame this extraplanet warming can resolve the reasons why we extract fossil fuels.
How? Like what material actions?
I don't think we need to identify material actions, but rather we think that the driving motivation behind that is the desire to identify an extinction impact of an apocalypse.
Okay.
Okay, 10, starting now.
Say, let's go, chat. I'm still crying. I mean, surviving.
our plan. The rates just add.
That's what you call it, okay.
The politics this add, and then the critique.
What about the other options?
Whoa.
Hey.
Hey. Don't leak our secrets like that tomorrow.
Hey, I thought leakage was. Oh, never mind.
Let me get to the doc down.
Yeah.
Alright, I just got one more. I presume there's analytics too, right?
Yeah, I know.
Too good to be true. Alright.
Okay, everyone good. Alright.
What is the decline price is not responsible for our scenario. Evidence says that oil volatility is what caused this scenario. It's not that oil will be stranded. That's a different scenario. 1 and 2, yes. The internal oil evidence says that oil price and volatility destroys military planning, which for instance, adequately budgeting, which decks readiness, yes. I hate this about readiness. It's about military parity, which evidence says that military readiness is the key check on adversaries. Will test as it goes nuclear from numerous hotspots across the globe because it generates into global and sweaty magnifies risk of conflict that escalates to nuclear use. That's heat evidence says Zagel evidence is wrong. Dead funding our internal links because oil price volatility make those impossible. Inertia is not warranted in their evidence. So throughout our evidence says that oil price volatility is the largest determinant of military readiness because of budgeting concerns. No readiness in my card is wrong. It's about our evidence says that the robust military will stop global conflict. Their evidence is a bunch of one-liners and no warranty. Our evidence says that empirically military period to deter adversaries from challenging the United States. Yes, stability through highlighting evidence. It also says that economic concerns will motivate China to test India, and it says that economic concerns, a strong economy will solve military parity, which means that it overcomes those structural barriers to it. Yes, it does not matter if it's not, or the not qualified is not responsive to your scenario because they have not integrated the warrants that are evidence. Plus, it postdates their cards and it cites other authors which are sufficiently qualified. Now, it says elections are not economy. This wrong. Evidence says the economy is necessary for them because of military parity, which is only possible with strong military growth. The Indo-Pac defense is from 2019. It says that history will hold. That is wrong. Evidence specifically indicts it says history will not hold in the case of economic downturn because a nation will be forced to escalate. Same thing is true with the Sino-India defense. Our evidence says that there will be zero off-ramps because both countries will be pressured to escalate to maintain the domestic support. That means it definitely goes nuclear because our evidence says that conflicts would quickly spiral. Now, advantage 2. Unless this linear empirics are wrong, the evidence that Sweden would just tax 2 sectors which is not responsible. I've already slew of evidence says that taxing is sufficient. Is not a minor tweak in the prices. It is a large change in the oil price, which means it's sufficient to lead to a large scale decline. Only tax creates economy-wide incentive to shift to clean energy and use reduction sufficient to reach Paris. That's patent limit pick 24 research and first evaluation. Well, that's the private policy measure for the country's findings zero need and versus the failed character successful case conclusion of tax and price instead of tax policy to war to create to better acquisition measures critical only price-based intervention over substantial reductions that also answer to EC 2 and 3 because our evidence is old and not assume the newest studies on carbon pricing was empirically successful and that it's certainly solid. Plus the second card is also just about the Sweden, which is wrong. Adaptation is insufficient. Our 1 and 2 evidence says that AMOC will cause warming to escalate faster than the adaptation can make up for, which just takes that out. The third set evidence is not qualified. It says that there's a national variability that's answered by the massive evidence of 1 and 2, which says that it's not a reason why climate change is not existential. Plus the third set evidence just cites Halstead, who's wrong, McCoffin, and 24 claiming climate not lead to extinction discards and indirect way in the national social system that climate is spread to lapse and social not enough to adapt. Potential stems from confidence of climate will not be as severe as early worst case scenarios. Halstead and Catskill mitigation targets will be significantly overshot. The next card is wrong. Tax administration of the BCA is simple and effective at surrounding LIT borders require emission reduction suppliers and facilities and manufacturer frameworks as using efficient interstate tool to track cumulative emission. First few interstations that thus cover vast majority of emissions. Reduce emission without an administrative order tracker including emission framework concludes and available and awarded the EPA to products imported at set emissions based on average performance reduction of national record destroying good vehicle combined rebates that do not exceed domestic tax imports opposite to taxes in excess of like products plus the innovation is enough to overcome any leakage effects because the 1 evidence says the plan would generate enough innovation which also answers all the pricing stuff because it improves renewables and displaces fossil fuels even if pricing alone is insufficient. T. We need normal means is upstream means the plan only taxes the energy sector. 2. Clean energy policy refers to both positive and negative incentives for transitioning in renewable energy. Kaminsky and 23 clean energy policy rules and economic governments to determine how renewable energy mandate and they come in the form of taxes and subsidies and measures that decide fossil fuels like taxes. Preferred ASF ground affecting sectors other than industries key to advantage ground and deficits B particularly their term says it's exact same code 22 therefore the terms of energy policy and energy climate policy used largely interchangeably in this thesis for a reason believe their offense is ridiculous or ridiculous for substance ground up increasing grid.
1. Burning both. 2. Turn the count. 3. Does not stop warming, only increasing the rate properly prices. Damage and accumulated emission. That's Paddock, Schulmeister, and Hofstad and Williams 20. Emissions under tax are uncertain for the initial economic shortcoming. Once approach reducing uncertainty, adjust for target rate based on level of emission and state rate. Adjust upward, pushing this back to track inclusion. Substantially reduce emission uncertainty, increase probability of achieving target. Adjusting even by small amounts, push emissions back. Counting against circumvented and annually decrease. That means Trump would decrease it to zero. Also cannot solve the oil volatility advantage because it's not tied the price to oil prices, which is 1 and T cross section 4 no green paradox. The plan deletes incentives for oil exporting countries to oversupply by altering domestic prices based on global prices. They supply more than domestic price will change because the government will increase the tax to achieve the same prices before. Studies also prove a tax that overcomes the green paradox, controls all channel for rebound. That's the Berg evidence condo is a voter has caused Stratsky by running the after last chance Carter often creates a moral hazard to shock and advocacy to force contradiction, which diminish class multiple rounds and is solved by imposing a strategic cost rates. News report proves they're gonna hike them and ignore negative before 11:15 Congress. 11:15 experts have been less confident about more cuts in near-term amid reports about consumer spending and employment reports on inflation rose in October, market reversal in decline. Housing remains the biggest contributor. The latest inflation news statements hope Fed will cut rates in December. Retail inflation dumps possible inflation picture. 11:15 traders slash expectation for similar rate cut after retail sales stronger on Helen, so it was not a low, not a day with retail sales set. And they were stronger than expected. Speech at the Fed, which showed growing concerns than disinflation hitting a wall. Trump guarantees rate hikes, petty pace. 11:9 Trump's policies would drive rates higher, signal return to higher than normal inflation to maintain Chicago prices. Reckon on the wave of inflation puts rates higher. The minute hack that's also interviewed higher inflation mean higher mortgage rates. No inflation link. A fossil fuels turn Melodia and 22 hearing volatility fossil fuels and inflammatory rate shock from zero. Pricing splitting contributing overall inflation existing quantity volatile indirect and inadequate price changes and will become more volatile unless it is for the long-term energy price volatility driven by fossil fuels renewable energy sources stabilizing first in the economy to achieve price stability. Must be adulterated rapid transition. Mark the card. Transition. The carbon tax also does not increase any prices. Conrad 23 household cut back in period downward pressure on price of carbon tax and lowers by energy intensive goods community while falling price of water. Foster higher investment, less energy intensive, leading a lower price of derivatives by inflation response to core inflation. Harvard evidence from European lack of inflation effects on carbon taxes. Mark the card. Taxes. Fossil fuels are not considered. That's the Woloski 23 evidence of Fed is only keep raising rates solely due to a lower price, especially when core inflation trending downward drives recovery by covering for the debt makes it self-correcting. Smith and 21 higher inflation wage growth will be a net positive debt. Higher rates make debt easier to manage. Higher nominal interest rates mean a higher monthly payment for loan honest increase in inflation, but a right decrease in mortgage rates and maximum slowing rate rise in home prices. Mark the card. Prices AI impact is wrong. It's AI is inevitable. No reverse causal evidence. The one you see AI also doesn't tell me anything. Card statistic gives us more information. That's not the issue. We have enough information now. The issue is willingness to act. Asteroids are far off. There's nothing we can do to stop them. Diseases are checked by burnout and intervention. Chinese investment makes AI better. Frequent and 24 frequent approaches the foreign Chinese investors have been studying the ability to have larger funding coming from single back players accelerated investments. AI deals with AI was a driving force. AI innovation rights dystopia or catastrophic war hindrance. And 23 AI is rapidly accelerating rate of advancement. Increase of people and extending faster rapid development and makes the president unpredictable. New cycle now showing the next acceleration. Actually, scratch that card. NDAA this side. It's must pass. It's already passed the House. CTE policy watch 24 lawmakers return. The first and most important item on the list considered a must pass are NDAA and the House passed NDAA Senate Armed Services Committee's negotiated final package will hopefully receive their vote in November. No link to finally stable gas prices, which avoids backlash that the service demonstrates is properly no water down durable. Field overcomes the countless levers to lead the DSF pick on 11 Congress turns to impact to Louis Learning's priorities. Spending running farm will just get kicked into this new year by President Bush of a disaster, a water attrition and defense leggy to be wrapped up. There's plenty of uncertainty. Johnson lands on timing spending artificial intelligence package. Expected to hold hearings on lingering priorities, breaking negotiation, continue lawmakers into the final pushes on flood insurance compensate victims of radiation. Nucleon is last on the chopping block. Lopez 24 Defense Department announced decision monitoring nuclear trial with Sentinels and generating the program to see the baseline cost and triggered and none. McCarthy reached the Undersecretary let a review determine a Sentinel program remain essential to U.S. national security. No alternatives right acceptable capability. Component attributes key to signaling establishing concern. Sentinel modernize the trial leg bull. Same minimum to meet warfighter comment in the minimum. And the nuclear modernization triggers adversary counterfears as bad. Kimball and 22 Biden's NPR disappointing maintain dangerous reliance into women's rational for pursuits of air to policy cryonics of Westmin's and that turns for data and NPR release armor. Get effective armed control diplomacy more salient than Russia and China. Fortified the nuclear forces Biden lost negotiation with Russia and China as a risk reduction armed control defeat deeper constitutional reduce Russian and nuclear constrained Chinese nuclear build around nuclear arms and lower risk nuclear armament balance appears to model signal and needs effective armed control decay. Framework with the applicants links the plans field education, their interpretation using after the terms defense into office for anything impact of work class limit kids educational benefits turned to both overall links or cannot solve extinction that way is bill inside so you're also no link to when you see cannot say the warming collapse in military security which both are evidence about the all does not solve cannot do the app also rejecting in one instance cannot solve for broader securitization floating picture voter impossible leverage app offense. Climate realism is good. Davidson came with a visioning extreme climate cities to risk, useful discussion of extreme risk, and form state of ways of exploring catastrophic scenarios. None of these concerning this convincing numerous books. Episodes catastrophic climate scenario without any perturbation, time, no reason, extreme risk, total decarbonization, lack of effective risk, assessment, and the flow action, create faulty policies.
Mark Davidson at Faulty Policies.
Jason Warnock.
You have
Yes.
I'm doing pretty good. Is what you should think. I'm not really tryharding, bro. I'm flipping the coin, bro.
I'm gonna watch you flip like a coin at least 5 times.
You're gonna hear this ding. Oh, no, my fault.
Riley sits down. And it's just,
Yeah, come on.
you should still take total decision time and then just flip the coin as well.
Yes, that's the point.
Exactly. Stress everyone out.
And then when you're like angry at a decision, I'll be like, I don't do policy, bro. Amazing strat.
Okay.
And then you mark the card that create faulty policies? For
Yeah.
Davidson? Okay.
It's indented.
Yeah. Just make
And
sure.
that is in the full marked. Okay.
Sorry, let me do this real fast.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Theoretical reasons to reject a team is just conduct.
Yes.
That's what it is.
And
Oh,
focus.
yes.
Advantage, the oil advantage, the readiness impact. Where do you think the Heath evidence says readiness is key?
He might not explicitly say the word readiness, but the theme
Yeah.
of the card says that military parity and perception that the U.S. would be capable of deterring adversaries prevents them from testing the United States. It's like resolve.
The India scenario, the evidence says economic collapse during an election year causes diversionary conflicts. The next election in India is 2029.
Well, I disagree
Why
with the
would
premise it's
collapse
only
now?
election year. The evidence might say that an election year might magnify the risk of it, but we still think economic downturn would cause leaders to perceive that they might lose domestic support, so they would do a rally, create a rally around the flag effect, and invade Kashmir. Like we still have
Why?
internal links even if it's not an election year.
What piece of evidence do you think substantiates that argument, not in an election year and solely about the economy?
Yeah, I think that the internal link evidence we've read substantiates that. Like the card that mentions the election is not solely about election years.
I really think it does. The rates decide, the pre-can evidence says foreign investment is down, but domestic investment is up in China. Where does this say that they have enough funding or they're developing AI now?
Well, we think that the frequent evidence says that there is still investment in China, which we think is sufficient to solve the internal.
Why?
Like the internal is just like AI is good. AI investment is good.
What
High
part do
rates
you
prevent
think
that.
says China will develop AI? This is
Well,
like
I think if they're
investing
investing
billions
in AI, they-
semiconductors.
If they're investing in AI, I think they'll develop AI.
It says
Like
one deal was about AI. Where does this say China will
China
develop
will
AI?
certainly develop AI. Like that's not
Okay.
an argument that you'll win on. Like
In the AA disad, did you read the Kimball card?
uh
The nuclear modernization bad?
yeah.
Okay. Did you skip anything under NDAA?
Yeah, I skipped I deleted it because
Okay, but everything
the
without.
carbon tax
Okay.
popular, but Dervis in
Sure.
the YC says it's popular, so
Why
it's
is
not
the
like
plan
it-
popular?
the Dervis evidence says tying it to global market prices for fossil fuels means that it would create stable gas prices, and the reason a carbon tax would primarily be unpopular is because lawmakers would have to tell their constituents that gas prices would be very unpredictable.
Wait, why does that make it popular? Your evidence says that it increases gas prices by at a minimum 50 cents everywhere in the US. Why is that politically popular?
Dervis evidence says that creating price stability is popular.
Where does it say the plan is popular?
That's what the plan is. It says tying the carbon tax to oil prices would make it popular.
Rate cuts, uniqueness.
yeah.
What card says no cuts? This is just like they're not extremely confident there will be a cut in the next month.
I think both Connors and Pitcher indicate that the Fed will not cut.
No. So what does that mean?
How fast do you think you can send that?
No money.
Well, you just tell me what to do.
by what I'm here.
Okay.
I'll read these one docs.
Because I might. Actually, no. I'm gonna find out. I got it.
Okay.
No, I got it.
We love to see it.
You got the card that you scratched, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I took out everything I didn't read, but that's all.
Stop 515. Saving the cards and sending them. Okay. Cards are sent. Let me know when everyone's good for the order. Marvin, you good?
I haven't gotten the cards, but what's the order?
T, clean energy policy.
Mm-hmm.
The green paradox counterpoint.
Mm-hmm.
The critique.
Mm-hmm.
The warming advantage. the oil advantage. So 2-1. I reversed it.
Alright,
Give me a second. I have to look at my.
take your time, by the way.
I'm gonna grab water real fast.
Take your time. That's gonna be an amazing RFB. I think I was joking. The decision is not an indication of me as a person, or me as a judge. So. Chat, y'all hear these pre-empts, bro? Like, please.
This will be the first time in debate recordings have like a side chat going on with the judge.
Good. You're welcome, chat. They don't know me. Watch, at the end of the toy, I'll be like, oh, I understand it now. That's all, bro. Damn, y'all are worried that I'm saying all these jokes.
No.
Y'all good? Going for the K, right? Oh.
Part of me really wanted to.
No, fuck! Ah! I mean, yay!
I should have finished typing those blocks before this weekend.
I'm dead. Good decision, Emory. Good decision. Oh, chat, by the way, I'm saying these comments because I'm flipping a coin, but like, I think I'm doing it.
How were your first 3 rounds?
Oh.
Alright, Ethan, I was about to say. I was joking, by the way.
Hey, I went the wrong way.
Did everyone get
Just
this?
ask me.
Yeah, I'm good.
Whoa, relax. 2 and T cards, right? That's enough.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Alright. TCPK at.
Yeah, but advantage 2, advantage 1. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
We good.
rats. Oh, I presume these are for case.
Those are for T.
Oh, T. Okay, that's what I need. Okay, thank you. Alright.
We good? Great. We will concede that they made the determination. That means the app only applies to energy emissions, not non-energy sources. No take back system now. Policy debate energy policy to take from broader climate policy to exclude emissions not stemming from directly from energy consumption and production. That's continuity means they are insufficient to solve Q. The theory common energy for ever in the energy policy something climate policy more reduction from the USA on the order address. Climate change by 6.5% emissions will sort the chart CTUS. No defensive industries and big warming emissions inevitable. 1. Construction. Tons of non-energy related emissions. Those alone do solvency lever in. 22. Various construction activities lead to evolution of the land demolition. Burning dangerous chemicals that kind of tree can be the fundamental contributing sector on the carbon emissions. The industry will contribute to the amount of which increases the global temperature. 2. Steel chemicals necessary for low carbon economy. Gross 21 of the steel use coal that has heat in the part of the chemical process estimate. Where the CO2 is a part of chemical process, chemical industry uses coal, oil, natural gas, and things such as industry also bananas, chemical industries are here with us to say the low carbon economy globally. Then the steel is by 3rd transportation grows. 6. Some states have enacted climate policy actions through energy policy, transportation policy, or air quality programs. 4. Agriculture, methane, emissions, thumb, UN. Between one realism, methane, methane, climate contribute to ground level ozone, and carbon dioxide, methane. It's really pretty impressive that at any other time, the things that can't solve either advantage of the app. 1. Warming means emissions targets gets only 25% and also does spill over current renewables. Any other industry. 2. Oil. They need to integrate the price in every industry, not just energy. Otherwise, it's the worst of all worlds. It turns our advantage because oil becomes more volatile to distinctions in industry where it's expensive in one industry but not in the other, which means it still creates volatility, massive volatility that matters. Energy emissions are negligible and may be no negative presumption of false wells. 18. Needed at high rates, need to seem efficient. Industry safe immediate overhaul such as ag industry infrastructure men would be the 3rd largest emitter the scale dwarfs every revolution, every engineer you can imagine tax reduce revolution get better. Imagination at level politician felt like it's workable, they don't have much impact there. Or many nations up with pricing of none of the emissions are declining. Let it rapidly the counterplay. The counterplane solves warming when the plane does not. They enabling increasing carbon taxing in the English signals produces that profit will immediately decline, pushing forward emissions while the price is lowered. Ensure profit magnetization to that sin. The counterplane reverses it, starting high, going lower, incentivizes an immediate transition on the supply side of emissions rather than a delayed process that's taken producers think they should theoretically extract in the future, but never do that because the decreasing tax would reduce demand in the meantime. Judge, kick the counterplane, they win, it doesn't solve, it's still asset. External offense to the case. Look, the 2AC has mishandled it. We're not saying that the counterplane decreasing solves it, but rather it is a straight turn to the 1AC, both advantages, which means that the counterplane is the only way to prevent volatility from happening in the status quo. bow. 2AC 1 with permanent bow. This is not, so you can't increase and decrease at the same time. Which doesn't apply, can't solve the net benefit. Second, permanent counterpoint 7 is 1AC explicitly said. It increases cross-mix as well, so that it increases yearly, annually, which means they cannot go over this argument. Third argument, this is solves warming wrong, and their evidence is theoretical at best, but doesn't reality what producers will do. Only we read evidence specific to what producers will do in response to a carbon tax. It said that they will increase emissions fast in the world where there's a gradually increasing carbon tax annually because they think that the time is now to extract resources because it's the only time to actually get cheap resources out of the ground. Second, otherwise projects are pulled forward and that increases emission. No, circumvention 1, annually decreasing is the only mandate because it's a decrease at the exact same rate of the plan. We get to clarify this and you can't get it back if you have stalls because it's durably if you add it in the context of the bill. Second, Trump is irrelevant if he still decreases overall stalls because it means that companies are not willing to invest in fossil fuels. Post circumvention. Third, links to them increase slowly, kills it. Right, he can make it determine the price. However, the hell he wants, which could link to them as well. The say it's not tied to oil. This is one irrelevant. We turn the internal link to the net benefit, which means it doesn't matter. Second, we solve estimate lines with the plan surges in usage because it causes price volatility and affected. It means that people will increase a much of consumption now, lowers prices now, but then in the world where it's no longer profitable, prices drastically increase which causes economic volatility and conflict. Next argument is no green paradox. Yeah, green paradox. No card in the 2AC means you should be highly skeptical of the question when we read carded evidence describing green paradox and the effect of oil producers. The Adams extraction emissions have 2 reasons. First, cumulative damages, rising costs, increased cumulative damages, incentivizing early action while cheaper. Jensen, 15 political reasons. Start lower price over time. Coleman is rational by stepping against fossil fuels. Are not renewable prices will not only cost but the scarcity of those enjoy scarcity rents. Maximize profits in the future time climate policy, deflected decrease rents, maximize profits, owners will do extract more. Take a portion of the extraction actually increase the minimum great paradox. Second, acid degradation over resource owners will stand actively by sin. 12 that policies come attack over time with good paradox satisfied of the increase of the price of the demand reducing policy require. Causes the resource owner to bring us down. It's a forward to extend on the which potential period of the price of carbon fail so much. Then demand increases more. Then the demand shrinks aggregate worldwide demand increases. It causes a reverse inverse reaction than expected, but the counterpoint solves in. 12 the paradox reaction and the question to the reverse on the green policy that reduces demand in the price of world market price. In a increasing supply and the reaction inversely on the future price the future price of climbing and the reduces that future reduction in supply. The oil is out of the ground and the paradox only rises oil price. Getting to a company with a bigger future, the price changes externally turns the oil advantage causing fast hikes. Then extraction at the beginning surging prices down and then immediately up. Once it becomes unprofitable, overwhelms the fact that tax is tied to carbon, missing initial prices the lowest. It will be meaning producers. Lower producers proceed to try to extract now. Last argument is the tax isn't overcome it. This is irrelevant. This is not the argument. I'm saying that the tax that's overcome usage or the tax causes usage on the evidence description of how oil producers actually act. Additionality is good. 1 negative 1 equals level playing field. There's always reaction to act towards the infinite rapid clarification. Second, innovation. 2 is a risk reverse fallback. The law of safety and testing. 3 critical thinking. 4 sufficient integrative. Technical 2 8 4 logic on mass policy options moving advocacies has made the plan good by flow check. They're not flowing immediately mode. Neg now skews and double speed highlight top counting at 2 consolidation solved. This positionality is bad. P2 is controlling the blog. We create research around the main process on people. Okay. Can see the prediction, not going for no link to floating picks bad. We've said in crosses it was not a floating pick that resolves the impact which you cannot go for this reject that argument on the team the bench. Or bench 2. Carbon pricing fails at Stokes, 2 warrants, 1 in Pierce, or imposing enormous carbon tax and research rose 70%. Other jurisdictions with high carbon pricing did no more innovation. Yes, empirics matter. The only standard for the actualization of the app. That's just a source that they have better studies does not apply because the only time it's ever been implemented was a failure that caused massive increases in emission. Concede the card they read here. The economy-wide tax is key. That was T. You go negative presumption because they say that only economy-wide changes overall able to emission both A, solve warming, and B, oil price volatility. No evidence supports solvency green. 21 on the paper price of review. Carbon pricing on the reduction of pricing on the reduction limited between 0 to 2% of most. Outcomes fuel switching efficiency improvements on like policy the current pathways to decarbon pricing addresses emissions rather than overall concentration and direction of pricing. It's not doing the majority of the work. Second, inelasticity. Fossil demand is resilient even when prices increase because businesses and homes rely on gas to heat their homes. Since 24 petrol costs are inelastic when the price rises, people will reduce the demand of the petrol or gas rather than these insulation you keep heating your home. The next line the price of fossil fuels rising and modest impact on paying people away. Ongoing money costs less than effort. Only cost of new good because we discount the future. Deep lock-ins, deck solvency, or higher structures build fossil fuels, sunk costs and pipelines and gas fired plants plus America's cultural blood for SUVs bottlenecking transition even with price incentive. That's rose and boom. The answer is nonsense. The evidence being old does not apply. When it's a description of how consumers and companies would react to the plan, they can just up and change their investments in certain assets. My parents are sure as hell not going to buy an EV a year after buying a massive SUV that it pollutes into the atmosphere. It causes piecemeal private decisions instead of long-term public planning needed for decarbonization. Cost 20 decarbon requirement median and expensive investments rather. Then also consider return investment on these road cars like gas facilities good. Maintain your emissions by paying the tax rate prevent perpetuate pollutions. Solvency is negligible at best. Every study shows the after tax emissions are marginal at best, even gold prices well. These emissions get close to the scale of fee necessary to reverse exponential warming that's rapidly even the most generous. Reading of solvency during pricing is effective lock-in and skip that. Leakage kills the aft. The taxation causes firms to flee under. To unregulated countries that fabricate or undercount their emissions. The CBA can't solve at one. Complexity of U.S. trades with hundreds of countries is logistically impossible to track down every macro counter carbon tax for every product we import. Yes, complexity does not assume the indirect emissions from parts imported to countries that are already emissions intensive. Means that they cannot calculate those because it's physically impossible to do that. Which means that every country would just import every possible resource to do it, build it in a country that has it, that doesn't have emissions, and make it non-emission intensive. It still causes the impact. Second, rebound. CBA rebounds imports towards unregulated organs. 23 tax old focus only on imports. Some listed the math for the order of emissions. The majority of import emissions have been immediately go down the CBA one tax final place of the process of the power on the carbon running the components of the data for direct, which will be rapidly expensive or direction. We can have a bit of the cost share. The sales of markets and regulated emissions and lower prices in non-pollution countries, so increasing consumption of carbon intensive products. In those countries, we are explicitly not extending impact defense, which they cannot kick this advantage, which means only we have office because we have straight term the warming advantage, but right now, massive amount of circumstances that they can answer every single one. The oil scenario, readiness scenario is utter nonsense. One, zero connection between oil and readiness. Their AC evidence says the worst year ever eliminated at paltry $1 billion from the military, which Congress was just compensated for. Congress always dump money in the military and constantly the increased military state defense and grade collapse, which solves concessions on the NDA. This and also mean that the funding is inevitable. Readiness will always be sufficient. Second, their evidence of power connect to hell. He does mission readiness once it goes against the stability of governance, but that does not get close to saying that long-term readiness of troops can solve. Even if it's about parity, doesn't matter because it's still a question of perception, which will be read either with numbers up, but they don't have evidence for. Third, there's so many numbers of readiness, lack of inertia for troops, lack of debt, and lack of social morale makes on readiness inevitable. There's a long-term trend that should come to the rest of the impacts. Card 0 and the 1AC of 2 AC says readiness is stable now. Our country's fear of the U.S.'s troops, but we read emphasis that empirically countries have never done that. And the essay applied gives a broad empirical description of how readiness is perceived. The use is rapidly thumb that single evidence. 4, no, readiness impact military strength is not to stop conflict. No, after including Russia, China, Iran, or North Korea, Thunder, America, now into 0, currently to an impact that's smaller. That checks Russia and China. Miller, 16 USC, speaker for that's required military preparedness, conflict would be overwhelmingly costly. The translators really realize this, China, Russia, does not. Just the game of change, against our states and military requirements are limited. Concerns about prolific that right Taiwan. The main remote concern, the scenario, the India-China scenario was equally nonsense. One, structural challenges stump the PLAs, especially growing in size, offsetting Indian geographic advantage from India's economic stability, basic challenges that believe they're right that China's readiness acted, that their own global evidence dropped. Their only answer was that economic incentives means that it makes it more likely to go to war. The argument is that China is revisionist. The card says that it means they go to war inevitably. You have stuff to say.
What is a policy round, bro? I don't know why the fuck they got. I mean, yeah, it's amazing, bro.
See
Yeah,
that
let me- no.
champion.
Bro, you gotta make me flip a coin, bro.
See that
Oh,
shit?
my fault, process.
Alright, are you good?
Yep, I'm good.
I want to talk about the green paradox. What is the incentive for oil producing companies
Okay,
to flood the
so-
market with oil?
The argument is that there's a perception that their assets will never be as cheap in the future,
Right, but
ever again.
Their goal is to affect domestic prices, correct?
Well, their goal is to extract the resources and get in why it's
and
cheap.
to sell them to the United States, correct?
Sure.
To change
Yes.
domestic prices.
Sure, yes.
Okay, that is what their goal is. That's why they do it.
Yes.
That's why they
The
do it.
argument is the
Perfect.
fact that they
Okay.
perceive
No, that's
the
good.
app is always
Uh,
increasing, which means there's
Yeah, I
never a
understand
cheaper
that.
chance to do it.
Got that down. Okay, I want to go to T. The chart you've inserted says other sectors cause emissions. Obviously, those other sectors also use fossil fuels. How does the plan not solve that?
The argument is, well, A, you don't solve because you only tax energy emissions, even if they are
Right,
using
well,
fossil fuels or
It never made that argument. The 2AC said that we were an upstream tax, which taxes fossil
Yeah.
fuels at the source. That means that the tax and the cost would be
we read it
passed
basically
down to the people that
we-
buy those fossil fuels. Why does it not solve all these arguments?
The argument is that even if it's about usage of fossil fuels, you can't tax those under industries because it's not energy policy. We have identified that these specific industries are distinct from energy. Only we've read descriptive evidence that says they are different in sectors. So even if you tax it, it can only be
Right,
energy
but
consumption.
you agree that those sectors use fossil fuels, which accounts for part
They
of their emissions.
use fossil fuels, but you can't tax them, which means that the app cannot
But
account for it.
if the AF taxes fossil fuels at the source, the price would go up.
Yeah,
correct?
you
So the price would be
you tax at
incurred
the
by-
source for consumption, but not for other energy, but not for any other area. That's
What
the
do you mean consumption is every area? All
No,
of those
so
sectors buy
here's the
fossil
thing.
fuels.
2AC, we made it explicitly, we only affect energy emissions. We've conceded that.
Not what I said, but whatever.
That's the words in the doc that she
Um,
read straight off. There's a recording that'll probably tell you the
I
same
want to
thing.
go to the case. You've read a lot of evidence about Sweden. Sweden's tax affected just 2 sectors. Why is this responsive to an economy-wide carbon tax?
Again, well, A, just talked about that above, not economy-wide.
Well, that's
we conceded that.
an upstream tax
B-
is definitionally economy-wide.
Yeah,
that's
but
what an upstream.
you
That's
said
how
it
it
was.
works.
B, we think that Sweden is an
Okay.
example of how companies react and how the implementation works and proves that
But
emissions
it
would
is
still
a
improve.
faulty example because it's not the same as the
Faulty
plan.
example, but only example compared to studies that just blatantly assert that it's better to
Well,
do it in the U.S. and
I
economy
disagree on
wide.
that. We read a study of more than 1,000
Yeah, a
policies
study
in,
versus
like,
implementation of a carbon tax in a sector.
Well, yeah,
that
it
drastically
is about
outweighs.
empirics in other countries, but whatever. I want to go to the rebound. What are those unregulated markets?
That's the CBA stuff, right?
Yeah, tar,
Yeah.
paper, yeah.
Rebound. I don't know the specific markets the evidence identifies. The argument is that like markets that are not affected by the plan, so probably the non-energy stuff that we talked about above, would be like.
Wait, but this card is about like non-U.S. markets. Like every good that comes in the U.S. will be
Yeah,
subject
okay.
to the
Let
border
me
adjustment.
hold the card and tell you exactly the countries
Okay,
it
yeah.
says. Gives an example about when the EU adopted a border carbon adjustment on regulated markets in places like Africa, the Middle East, etc., where importers went.
Okay, we're gonna prep for a second.
Did you get any of that, bro?
I'm so tired.
Bro, they're doing these policy tricks against me, bro.
Against or you're the
I
judge?
told both of them, both of them losing, bro. Like, they're laughing now. We see this, right?
I'm sorry, Dimarvin.
Oh, I'm sorry for you. Anyways,
We judge well no matter the circumstances, right?
something like that. Well, I think.
What was the integral comment?
It's good. We get on good content.
Okay, cool.
Yo, Danny just got a CT scan. Oh shit.
Did someone hurt themselves?
Now they got what's that shit called?
Appendicitis.
Appendicitis.
Appendicitis after the today's tournament?
Yes, bro.
Oh, that's inconvenient.
The one's gone. Respectfully.
What is your round for?
Because of this. This is appendicitis.
Oh, okay, I forgot. Damn, that's so inconvenient. You have appendicitis in a different state and have to pay
That'd be
$200.
sad. And then being at Emory at that, with the bus leaving. Locked it. Oh, by the way, this is being recorded. If you didn't know.
Okay, I'm not getting recorded though, so.
Boys.
Just don't talk shit about people on camera.
Oh, I would never. Well, Emory. No. Kansas.
Why do you get your G say?
I have to, bro.
Good.
Let's see live stream eventually.
It's getting posted, but. I want to see this UFC match with Tom Zee.
Yeah, you did your social.
But like, this one's at 9:30.
This is not my rhythm, what it was, yeah.
Exactly, and then Corey wants to go back to the
God, it's like,
for demons.
you gotta be up early in the morning, no late rounds.
Sure.
It's 2 or 4.
Yes.
I don't know how people have to do events for this tournament.
And you had
650, so 446.
Hey, chat, confirm that. Oh, this is a 1-0. Oh, see, I'm really smart. See, I would never do that, bro. I just say you're anti-black. What?
I didn't like energy professional, but I see what you mean.
Got
Oh,
so
I
I
want
said,
that.
It?
Okay,
But you
you
was
wanna
mentioning
run
my
my
morning.
I was.
Exactly. The morning you didn't see
I don't need food anymore. I need
4. That
sleep or like caffeine.
Oh, yeah.
that makes sense.
What's that?
Laptop.
It's too late. The time is supposed to be over.
Whoa. Hey, don't fumble the bag now. Oh, he's sweating.
Okay. The order that is totally not even.
Okay, right? Guess
No,
not.
we already
Unlucky.
capped that
I
one.
know. Relax. Or did you? No.
Little did Emory know.
Dude, that's crazy.
It's the oil advantage.
Right. That bar quarter is not low enough.
The NDAA disad.
Mmm.
And then the
That is the policy.
yes.
Ah.
And then the inflation interest rates disad.
Is it cards?
Yes. I said that.
I mean, yes.
Sorry.
And then There's some cards being read from the 2 and C doc as well.
You got caffeine?
Hell no. I would never drink
You got some
caffeine.
energy. You got energy.
What? It's all natural.
Mm.
I'm just saying, bro. Right, chat? I should be a streamer, bro.
Wait, I need the order again. It's the second advantage or the first advantage, I guess. Politics. Okay.
Yep.
Good. I think you're painting, man. We're gonna dress her now.
No, I'm gonna just go over it.
You want to just like, yeah.
Something else. I haven't gotten the cards by the way. And he said there's some cards that are into it.
Yeah, just some of the defense cards from the bottom.
He's what?
Defense cards from the bottom of the 2 and C
Just
doc.
make sure you're saying this is the one in the 20 doc.
The cards at the top will be the ones from the 2 and C doc.
Ah, see? Kansas. I should give you 30s.
I like that idea.
Let me know when
I
they're-
just got it. Oh, I'm tweaking, duh, because you're doing the oil. Alright, cool. Just go down the oil. Actually, no, oil's on top. Alright, cool.
Great. Everyone's good?
Sure. Great.
2, no way to pack nuclear war and peer they never reset actual rationality, understanding of the risks that come with going to war in domestic economies, prevent escalation of minor skirmishes as gangly. 3, no India China war out against cost control. It takes 8 when nations are willing to do in diplomatic exist as an off-ramp. To start broader conflict, neither nation is not enough to actually let the conflict escalate. That's the same evidence. Cost outweigh the gain saying. In 20, the cost of war far away political gains system like invasion, what risk to from war reputational damages and nuclear deterrence safer invasions for India, the primary challenge remains Pakistan, the to land is on world resources, the returning office view advantages to offensive forces. Economic decline is relevant. The countries turn inward for post-COVID evidence while 20 the version of war. And strikes me as not late in war would hammer the last nail in the common of Trump's wars that supported me. Wonder why he's wasting time on money, military action, money, and vaccines, and psychological guide or other world leaders. It's hard to imagine a large goal. But war would tell us oriented to wars, because investors sympathy for Russian to cover Ukraine, war China, Taiwan, where the cost would outweigh the benefits, even oil, rich, no liquor attraction, with vast. The blood, the politics system. Concede no link in no nuclear monetization, cost no offense, not going for it. The race system. AI innovation filters existential risk. The rate of info processing and data accumulation makes it the only tool to solve all large scale impacts. Because it's 2 unique impacts. The 0 cards on first disease causes extinction large. In 25, sure, pandemics that lead to extinction, the internet access to civilization, made user pandemics spread of 80 about the world health, which raises 7,000 potential outbreaks, global trends, we with emergency spread of disease. It makes it equal to instant hyperconnected pandemic risk of growing the for using users of chains of English because they don't believe. It's the breakthroughs of high tech using a drug for the research and potential pathogen for the state once I've had a bad aspects were impossible to risk for resiliency out with the risk of biological access to a risk of misuse. Second is asteroids. They lock in extinction while nuclear wars is not. 297 impacts of asteroids. First, the nuclear winter evidence over only an asteroid impact. There was no just one extinction mechanism that many environmental changes would occur following the impact of plankton type of land dwellers. The dark from the water crisis. Some of the biggest thing to other planet ship complex chain of the fatalities due to war employing the bulk of the world. The nuclear also to be in the 100 million people. Some suggests the fatalities highest 1 billion studies assuming that every population center was targeted following KT and photosynthesis and vision may be impossible to cause extinction. Neither was wicked to war of a nuclear war. The KT impact of the rest of the life of the national nuclear wars. It cannot surpass. It turns case 1 of climate change to AI. The project AI projects effects of climate change, helps in mitigation. It makes agriculture efficient, which solves food shortages, and is able to foresaw climate change. That's the mechanical evidence. 2, it solves military readiness because it allows for AI integration into the military. Which we see 1 through 3 is uniqueness. Rates costs are imminent. The recent batch of CPI data shows cooling inflation is worth an 80% chance of further easing. That's a candle evidence. You should prefer evidence because it has 2 expert forecasters share evidence. 1, the counter evidence. It does not say no rate cuts. It just says that they're less confident it'll happen in the next month. And prefer evidence from yesterday is wrong. Quote, the report aligned with most experts' expectations. Second is the picture evidence. It's just not a say fossil fuel inflation is not the evidence of power tag, and it does say the economy is quote strong. 3, the petty piece evidence. 1 is the account of FDS. 3, the thumbers of hands. All 3 inflationary items on Trump's to-do list, and the evidence is not assumed it more warrants 1. The Fed perception of the 11-13 despite pumps inflation looks as if it's fully piloted with these kinesis or reflecting the lag effects of the fantastic catch-up confidence and not reflecting carbon inflation reflection. The reflecting concentration of the stories consistent with inflation continuing to come out of benefits that want to bring it down to a neutral network closer to 2%. Checking this insider optimism. Jasinski in 11-12. The Kashkari sees the rate cuts unless there's inflation surprise. Fed President Kashkari sees resilient US economic results on inflation, the raising change to come down to the fundamental seems sorry. I'm not going to go into getting Kashkari will be putting member of the FOMC. 3, futures trading. Carrasco, Motovic in 11-13. Traders and futures adjusted their expectations ahead and probably the additional rate cut likely to increase at 8% significant. Barring these price we expect to be in December for easing it. The 25 US equities is attractive mid easing it. Robust AI 2EC4 is no link. And unforeseen car pricing. The triggers fast inflation, lack of anticipation. The permanence of the tax means that the central bank hikes raised due to the perception of continued and inevitable inflation. That's the big pivot evidence. Only we have evidence that describes the plan. That plan taxes everything. Albert 24, one of the key promises, high rent, energy, mineral, cost of the RA transition, we sell the RA transition, where we can inflation, the form of rising energy, mineral, and oil prices, and property, critical ambition, policy, what amount of why target FA prices would rise from carbon taxes, dependency, what carbon short-term cost, and increase in the ability to swap gas flows and trade agents. One, so we include energy costs and mineral bottlenecks of the transition, what triggering stagflation of market executive growth and inflation plus high unemployment. The Fed is forced to respond to carbon tax induced energy inflation coming in 24 macroeconomic effects of the carbon transition policies, aggregate effects of the carbon tax inflation, inflation rises in response to the carbon tax induced increase in inflation model review the reason for short-term interest over the medium term. The first piece of evidence, oil price volatility is priced into our evidence. Their evidence doesn't the gap, which increases oil prices by a minimum of 50 cents per. And the one to see targets, evidence saying a border adjustment triggers runaway inflation bills 22. A border adjustment avoids the inflationary interest need for everything that's going to operate over maybe comes as well 84% of the energy. Inflationary potential is zero, double spending in energy. The average price sacrifices is a fictitious to believe in a border adjustment reduces Russia, some of Russia to low carbon reshoring such that would give more expensive because of even higher cost of subsidized green energy system. No link, or the oil price volatility stops present into our evidence. The Conrad and Tamara evidence can extrapolate this finding into the plan is more aggressive. This study didn't cover expectations tomorrow in 23 are results in like inflation over land unless a future economic policy need to be increasing aggressive in order to reach emissions goal accommodating the order of magnitude of tax rates 100 with universal government product economic figures and those documented in this paper we are not well quote to investigate how housing form expectation of policy to accommodate higher energy prices. 2AC6 is covers for debt. They mark the evidence too early just as interest rates lower. Home price is not an argument. 2AC7 AI is inevitable. It is not. Only we have evidence that says rates cuts are key to AI development. 2AC8 is AI is irrelevant. Our evidence is hyper-specific that says that AI is key to solving asteroids and disease. Yes, more information is key. There's evidence it does not assume AI allows for mapping the best route to solving it. We do not know how to develop, we don't know the best way to develop vaccines or solve asteroids absent AI development. 1C9 is asteroids defenses and analytic. We can stop them, but we must know about them in the first place. That's the given evidence. We have terminal impact, which was dropped. C10 is defense is disease defenses and analytica. But the defense is wrong. We have cards that say it's an existential threat. It was just an assertion that it is not. 11 is Chinese AI solved. Their evidence does not say China will develop AI to foreign investment is down now, and USA has key to innovation 80-20 for United States emerges as a global AI leader, uses big role in AI. The United States leads in development of investment tax 70% of total investment from AI companies. Even if China develops AI, they'll misuse their tax laws 23 with the return state reaching the mismanagement members in the party official pressing info. Rather than risk position by reporting bannings and stars. It was covered up for home laws of the income of the government hard harassed doctors who tried to bring the info to the light of aging. This AI legislation aims on the different companies who remain subservient to the government of the premature noble to the government history shows that promotes the hubris and start from authoritarian states. Mark the card at states and China's irrelevant because their AI development is limited to surveillance, which is what their curriculum evidence is about. The only marked card was Drexel. It was marked at authoritarian states. There's one sentence left.
You wrote everything on right.
Skipped one of the link cards, and that was the last card I left out.
Big on that phone. Send that marked out, please.
Yep.
We'll set.
It's like you just debated and judged and coached.
I know, it's so much this time. You know, this reminds me of, we used to do impact tournaments in New York, and asteroids used to be like the most fun impact to choose.
Really?
Yeah, Carlos and Devon used to love picking asteroids.
Not me. I used to love this one's mystical creatures.
Mystical creatures.
Yeah, they were like, climate change is fucking horrible. I'll be like, duh, yeah.
I miss impact tournaments, they were cute. Good way to teach.
I don't know why these like teams are so locked in, bro. Like,
Shoes are those, Marvin?
these are Calabasas. Basically easy shoes.
What was that name?
Easy?
Oh, Yeezy. Oh.
Why?
Not a fan. You have a lot of better options.
Well, no, these are cheaper.
Oh, okay.
These are like $100.
Okay, I've seen you style on runners.
Nah, I moved past that phase.
You moved past that phase, so you sold all your sneakers?
I just kept on running. Cause I would buy them and buy more, and I would use them.
So you
Just
sold,
use, just use the ones I have. So,
but the rest you sold.
no, just use them.
You use all of them. How many sneakers you have? You should sell some.
Well, the ones I bought to campus, I sell all of them, or I use all of them. The ones that I have at home are just like free.
No, people buy sneakers, not too
my actual one's like 10.5. Or 10 to 11 basically. I guess that sounds pretty average to me.
Is it? I don't know if average for them.
Probably like 8 or 9. I think 9 is average.
I'm a 9 mornings. I have big feet.
Isn't 7 like average?
I think so. 8 or something.
Think about this round. Like, see, Kansas will be everything. This is probably like a first round.
Is it?
Oh yeah. I would
I'm
assume.
fucking know these people.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. So.
Sounds like you like these people don't.
Okay, okay. What team number 1? What team number 2?
I am so far removed. I do not.
Oh, I'm so far removed from this debate now.
Devon was talking about, why aren't you judging? Why aren't you judging? Like, no, what the fuck did I judge?
Free money.
I'm gonna grab those things.
But,
Devon coaches Kansas, right? He used to coach Kansas, so. I don't know, that's fucking Q's spot, right?
Mhm.
Q, okay.
Okay, stop it. 34.
34 seconds?
Yeah.
That's more than enough for the 2 AR, I think.
God loves to give speeches off that one.
Oh.
Hate it.
I think the results speak for themselves. Anyways, alright. Let's see how we're gonna do this.
We're always sending cards.
Oh, that's cards.
Wait, on the counter.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then I'm sending my dog.
Oh, so it's double trouble.
Lots of cards.
Hey, chat, what they doing to me, bro? Oh my gosh.
Could you give me a second to compile it into one?
Yeah, yeah. I haven't
Yeah,
sent it
just-
yet.
Oh, it's gonna be on YouTube, so I'm trying to interact with you. Hey, everyone in the chat, say, hey, Brianna. This is the way I'm keeping
You
myself.
turned this into your own video. And you were the moderator, wow.
I'm telling you, this is the only thing that's keeping me sane right now. Respectfully. But anyways, wait, hold on. So I should download both docs.
Yes, yeah.
Right, not counting.
Okay, I got Raleigh's and I got Circus. Let me
Okay,
download.
so-
I'm gonna combine them. Switch those.
Is there a specific order in the docs?
Yeah, so I'm going to roll this doc after T. I'll give it an order for this week. So it's the warming advantage, the oil volatility advantage, T, the counter plan, which is when it switches to Raleigh's doc, and Jacob's compiling his, so if you just want to put them together, that's fine. There's actually a header for it. And then the rate hikes to set after that.
So repeat about the doc stuff, about combining it.
Yeah, if you want to combine it, just put the stuff from Raleigh's doc under the deficit header on the counter plan.
Under the CPU. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a quick second.
You said warmings first?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, whoa, am I tweaking?
Sorry.
I'll
Could you repeat the order?
Yeah, it's warming, oil volatility, the counter plan,
Oh, I see.
or T, the counter plan, and then the rate hikes to set.
So put all these things under your
Yeah, under deficit.
Ha ha ha. This better be some good stuff. No, it's not working. Solid jokes. Alright, hold on.
Okay.
Let this flow. Alright, wait.
Everyone's good? Considering the warming condensation makes the base structurally unbrittle for Kansas, the only opposite of this is the case links in the descent, so they structurally cannot go for the rate hikes descent in this debate. If we win, even an inch of defense and a risk of self-warming. Warming condensation by a 5 will The Sino-India Pakistan war stuff. Oil volatility since India spiraling, which is a nuclear war with both Pakistan and India. Economic crisis make escalation imminent. The plan solves it. It doesn't sound to oil exporting nations from creating volatility by fixing the price of the largest importer. Their defense in the one and R is functionally wholly irresponsive. The only argument is that empirics disprove, which is explicitly intended by the 2AC ordinances that empirics do not disprove, and it is primed for nuclear war in the status quo. Inter-China war assumes the parity in the status quo, which is impossible in a world of Indian economic decline, and structurally guarantees China last out. T was the ways of the 2AC. Kansas is not understanding the meaning of an upstream tax. That means arguments was that we tax fossil fuels at the source, such as an upstream tax, that still also sectors because the price will transmit throughout the entire economy. The 2AC argument says that upstream tax falls because the most energy intensive steps to grow the source of fossil fuels. All of their evidence says that the sector's cost emissions because of the fuel in the blend increases the price amount, which means that the 2AC was wholly irrelevant. Kansas made this argument for us on the link to the rates it said. It said, quote, the plan taxes everything. See below, I inserted it in the document. Now, be kind of fun. Conditionality is the voting issue for procedural remedy. The 2AC is the last chance for offense. Reduction of the argument is conditionality. 2AC is through obeys and forces debates into coverage over clash, maneuver, hazard, distraction, new cost. 1AC advocacies and forces contradiction. This debate was a particularly egregious. Kansas tried to pick that, quote, solves the impacts, the counterpoint, and the events. Answer to the rates instead, and counterpoint that feels like carbon dioxide. The 2AC going to be dissents to advocacies because the ability to get them instantly. Second is advocacy. Their interpretation relates argument with viewers to lead breaking debates, which discourages research and crushes skills. It tries policy option logic using it. Test counterpoints and equates the value of auto coverage with terrible ideas like confine, unlimited auto. It's terrible. It links to all of our offense by justifying infinite conditionality. Air app is a net leading topics as in Kondo was the only thing to over crash flex is wrong. Dispo and pre-run Kondo solve the above ways you have ground destruction. It's just not infinite and state jumped every functional limit of T. It's the best net topic in years. Econ rates, oil politics, and committed control. It means that the net is not reliant on conditionality. Kondo does not see the innovation, so internal impact to the software and predictable ground testing. Solid giving disclosure. It's not arbitrary. No neg risk means that some limits are necessary to keep the app in the game. Critical thinking is made worse under Kondo as for the U.S. is not double. Committee in terms things to be straight. The 2AC doesn't have an offensive reason why dispo is bad. Multiple rounds let's test multiple advocacies while allowing that to manage negative steps. Substantially, the counterpoint not solve any of the case. They've dropped the circumvention means the tax gets reduced to zero, annually increasing its key to reduce emissions. There's almost argument the 2AC means they don't get one in the 2 and R. Crucially, it links to the benefit because all their impacts are all the link arguments in the 1 and R about carbon tax, which means they cannot go for both in tandem. Green paradox is impossible. Flexible pricing means any attempt by exporting nations to oversupply one change to the domestic price, which doesn't advise any over extraction level in the first place. That's a show based evidence. We don't need a 2AC card because Kansas does not understand the green paradox. The 2AC process proves Kansas is the only reason oil exporting nations and over extract is a change to domestic prices. The plan insulates domestic prices from the global market, meaning there's no incentive to over extract. None of the 2AC answers assume the plan's mechanism. No insurance case because we're getting zero risk of a link. Regardless, studies pre-pricing overcomes it. Berg says only a tax controls option is rebound. A tax makes final prices reflect production, chain of life cycle emissions, materials. I can't read that name. 22 should be worried about the Ukraine paradox versus non-materials. They live in countries where oil is credible and commodity investments to low carbon tech. Carbon taxes signal the private sector that investments in oil intensive tax being profitable commitments on the right impulse for investments in low carbon tech. Is that right?
Yep.
That is. The impact of stroke, burnout, and cooperation check disease. Kansas is reading evidence from 2020. I think I can think of a global pandemic that patently disproves the impact. Just because we can map impacts does not mean an AI can facilitate a global response, which is the barrier to the status quo, which means that the AI cannot solve existential risk broadly. Reading new impact evidence justifies new offense. Asteroid deflection tech becomes to obliterate rivals. Reading 20 asteroids exceed nuclear arsenals technologies to run away from Earth. There's acceptable that there's need to direct objects towards the Earth. The rate of overseas objects strike increases in terms of rapidly large-scale rivalries. It's existential. Reading 20 once the orbits of interaction techniques have been demonstrated, and humanities will have to require destructive releasing nuclear weapons and right knowledge and developing technology is vital. It's just a matter of time until this is routine to do so. It does not turn the case of a carbon tax normally fiance solution to warming, and AI is not sufficient to solve it. They've read zero evidence to substantiate this. The conceding the warming causes extinction means it's targeted by climate change, makes structural shocks to the economic system. Inevitable extreme weather events are happening now and increase insurance premiums, force prices up, etc., which means that you should prioritize structural impacts now. Uniqueness is the link is patently false. It is zero risk. They have no carbon spinning. Why the Fed should would respond to possible prices. The 2C evidence cites Fed officials and said they wouldn't change rates. Vince is about Canada, and Quinn is about Ireland. They ignore possible volatility. And Wagner 24 Fed economist says emails justifying core inflation when explicitly excludes an energy food. Getting off fossil fuels in palace toolkit Fed is in the interest rates can take out getting off fossil fuels not target Fed ignores possible prices. Fed could jump every time possible price spikes. Rates are based on possible prices. 23 crude prices are volatile, which means Fed when setting interest rate policies to the core price index removes food and oil from the equation. The Fed won't increase rates. Recommend 24 Fed's favorite inflation measure excluding President Federation versus core inflation. Economists closely watch core prices, which price better read on future inflation rates.
Okay, 5:15. Yep.
Sorry, yeah, also number 5.
I have things. I'll deal with this impact here nonsense.
You know what I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn off the camera for my distance.
patents, there's like 3 different subsections. Yeah, patent, intellectual, subject.
I got insurance.
That's what I said. This is a joke. Hmm? So I'm telling you, this round matters. If I vote for these teams and they lose again, I'm probably not breaking them. That's what I'm bringing that. Well, the coin is. Let me have it. Oh, you just in for 1 round.
Oh.
Usually. Yes.
Lucky hell, wow.
I'm saying.
You need to learn how to take advantage of things.
Oh, yes.
He was repping his team though, wow.
Valid.
Sign that little huddle space.
But it's like the Blazers, though.
Is this team? Okay.
I haven't seen them in about 8 years. Well, yeah, no.
Where does this get close to?
YouTube.
What
On the
channel?
video.
On the Kansas channel?
What's Jacob Vocal? Yeah, the one that's with the weird push button.
So anyway, people reach Kansas.
Coach? No. Giants, Prager, Jesse, Scott Harris.
Scott Harris has been there since the beginning.
That's that nigga Osborne. You don't see it?
No.
Oh,
Like for real, it's his son.
that's that nigga Dada. Like, respectfully.
We have sorry.
Oh, for some reason I think it's fine.
Okay. Rates to set,
Oh, actual rates.
topicality,
Ooh,
the counter plan,
ooh, big business.
the oil disadvantage, or oil advantage, warming advantage.
You said oil another one?
Yes. Good. Cool. We good?
Are you good?
Emory, you good?
Yeah.
Great. AI intervention filters every extension risk. 2 impacts we're going to go for. 1, disease, mostly drop coming out of the one the other closest they get is just COVID disproves only we have evidence predictive of how COVID is not the same as a future disease that causes extinction. Innovation is key to be able to solve and create vaccines to predict transit disease, which means it stops it at the source, means it cannot spread globally across extinction or be lethal, causes extinction, revamp, new, unique, we've read unique, specific evidence that is insulated from all defense laws and evidence that future diseases will be unique, least existential because their spread will be fast, or lethality will be high, causes extinction faster, and causes cytoclop to 4. Anything can ever happen. 2nd, asteroid prepared to further coming in cause deflection of them, the deflection destruction or blocking of them causes the extinction. It blows up the Earth immediately because it kills every possible nation on Earth. Think about how the dinosaurs went extinct immediately when an asteroid blocked down outweighs nuclear war billions. The nukes would not even get close to it, only the tune of comparative evidence means it cannot win. The impact to either advantage outweighing because asteroids are as quick. The vast impact that outweighs on time frame only we get access to that turns case one warming AI is able to solve it, creates predictiveness. Then it compels and creates efficiency. Then agriculture, other sectors, etc. means that we solve, reduce emissions, etc. means that we lower the rate and adopt renewables in response. B, military drop and injuries. This goes out globally to integration, which means that it's all outweighs and solves brains in other countries. It also means that other countries in military will be severe, strong, and deter other nations. It means that the impact it solves established deterrence between every nation, including India, China, etc. Because it solves the impact to it. The disease impact is not disproven. 2020 proves that COVID is an empiric of AI solving, but it's not a reason why the impact is zero. Only we read evidence is descriptive of what happens. The McKibben evidence in the 1AC says explicitly that diseases in the future will be more existential because of higher lethality risk, the risk of spreading, etc. The impact turn. Are you fucking serious? Asteroid deflection goes on other countries. There's no link to this evidence. The evidence says that they could do that. There's not a reason why a nation would do that. There's no reason why the U.S. would actually develop AI-based asteroid deflection technology and fling it towards China for any fucking reason. They've not made arguments for that, but also dropped that they have deterrence, which means that deterrence on case, which means that they have no need to do that because they don't perceive themselves as militarily strong to be able to do that. Yes, deterrence case argument resolved that we're winning it. It creates efficiency gains that's able to overwhelm the ability to solve climate change, to reduce its emissions rates below the existential level, which has its terminal defense. No, that you need this debate. Rate cuts are coming now. We see that it shows that they are coming in the future. The canal evidence. It's the best evidence is that it already happened once. It's going to happen continuously in the future because they think that there's no inflation coming. The Fed did some, do some later. They perceive it as a cooling economy, which is lower hard evidence to try. Or die extinction inevitable stuff. It does not drop. And they've dropped that all these arguments about oil volatility, etc., are priced into the argument we've dropped. The argument evidence shows that every current thing about climate change in the future that Fed already knows about and is already pricing it in, which is that they think they can still reduce cuts because it's deflationary now, but the absolute massive shock that immediately happens that causes inflation. It means they have to give rate hikes in response, but it means that they cannot go for it, but also they cannot solve warming, drop the deficits on case, and the impacts to T means that there's a reason why they cannot solve it. The link to Trump doesn't thump. I don't know if they said this. I'm just going to explicitly quickly answer a drop the unique discounter plan. We'll sit it here in fiat that every single deficit Trump could possibly do, which means that he would be constrained from being able to do anything. Now, the link causes the fast inflation because prices overall would rise because it's impossible to buy any possible product because energy consumption will concede that they're right, that they're economy-wide. If we had access to the link, they dropped it in economy-wide tax, increases prices for every fucking product in the economy, means that it surges prices quickly, causes inflation, means that the Fed has to react and the central bank has to do that as a response, which is the only empirical way that it would resolve. Yes, link evidence, the one in C and the one in our evidence are explicit, but a central bank has to do in response to inflation, says in response to inflation because of an unforeseen carbon tax. They increase rate hikes drastically, which distracts innovation in AI because this means it's a too risky investment to do in a world of massive inflation, which they've dropped because they try to solve AI innovation. The rest of the evidence is irrelevant. Even if the rates aren't based off of oil prices, it's irrelevant because we read an economy-wide argument about how the app broadly increases prices everywhere, causes inflation. The other optics and other aspects, even if oil prices don't directly cause rates, it causes inflation, which rates are responsive to drop the BTA link, which is a massive difference. Is that taxing tariffs on all trade is bad and causes a massive inflation because every single good imported to the U.S. would be massively increased in price because that's the account for the carbon intensity of the goods. Not go to T. Counterpoint. Concede the counterpoint, not going to go for it to sort of venture stuff, but I'm going to go for the green paradox turn in response to the ass surges production of oil resources, which turns warming, causes attraction and emissions in the status quo in the interim, and causes more emissions writ large. If you think about the thesis of what oil producers would do, you really think that oil producers would just give up all of their assets in the status quo because there's a carbon tax now? They perceive an annually increasing carbon tax that only gets higher in the future. They could perceive the status quo and post AF immediately as the only time their assets are even the relatively cheap and is easier to extract, means they extract fast in response because there's a surge in response. That is worse, turns warming extraction because it causes extraction quickly, and it means that it causes massive increases in emissions. Only we read predictive evidence describing how those emission increases are worse. Also turns oil because it causes price volatility. Condon. Conditionality is good. The impact is net flex. Next needs to be able to choose the strategy because otherwise new 2AC offense gets counterplans. Descent. It has to make it made impossible. The logical outcome of the models that teams only read offense intrinsic to the plan and the 2AC sending made. And logical counterplans that solve 1AC internal links with links to the side that don't solve their add-ons. Means that the neg teams to be able to take arguments otherwise every round and the after reading something tiny but punching the neg for introducing impact. Their interpretation does not solve this offense. One, it's a trick that conduct is parts of neg to be able to kick accuracies even when offense is applied. Two, dispose of negotiating with half terrorism. They chose what they kept 2 goes for because they read neg reads counterplan that runs a counterplan that logically solves the entirety of the app. The app can still win a decisive counterplan.
offense that they have strategically calculated by making the 1AC terrible, relying on 2AC offense to win the debate. Debatability outweighs fairness and prerequisite to education because we have no incentive to learn if we lose every debate while doing so, but their offense is not transitive conditionality. 2AC skew, 1 example because their arguments that are not advocacies that skew gateway issue procedurals and dissent. You can't straight turn. 2 does cause skew. They have to defend the plan's internal links, drop diminishing returns, most kind of plans lose and emphasis is upper barrier. 3rd, just so it doesn't solve skew. 4 is part of the right cut. Rating people on the internet so they have no dissents. 4th, drop the flow checks and then you should vote neg because they weren't flowing in the 2AC, which is it's a gateway issue that you should vote negative on. 5th, advocacy, drop partial prediction solves research what the research is about. The 1AC is intrinsic internal links. Then the practice of conditionality alone does not change research incentives because the neg substitute incentive case debating in order to keep in the game.
Already used before,
Huh? But this is a 20 hour. But wait, actually, I know how to answer that. Actually,
Okay, is everyone good for order? It's climate advantage, oil advantage, the counter plan,
Whoa.
then the rates decided.
Where's the K? Alright, let's see how this goes. Yo, chat, pray for me.
You see this fucking
Bro, because they're seeing this, like, technically in real time, bro. You be like, tomorrow, what are you doing? Watch. Anyway.
Okay, good. Okay.
You cannot go for the status quo when you consider 100% risk of climate change being existential, and the only solvency argument being made is non-responsive to the affirmative. Climate change outweighs the environment, is the building block for all existence. Warming is like removing the bottom layer of the Jenga tower we access. The only impact on the immediate effect on every system. Magnitude and impact access must come first. Warming is a risk amplifier. Warming is a hypergrid that structures all proximate causes of conflict in all of their scenarios, escalates tensions, undermines institutional checks, and incentivizes competition. Warming exacerbates scarcity and political instability, and makes conflict unpreventable. Flips inevitably affirmative. Cuts to this side make this particularly true even if you don't win, the terminal impact link your uniqueness takes out to this side. Questions you have after the tour about the truth of each of those pieces means the status quo is untenable. The neg may seem perceptually good on solvency for the green paradox stuff just because of card quantity, but their cards misunderstand how the plan works, which means that we still definitely solve. They dropped all the analysis from the 1AR on case that says the plan durably fiats the solution to warming, creates market incentives for green innovation and alternative energy. We've cited empirics to say that carbon tax reduces emissions in those sectors in other nations, which proves that the green paradox is wrong, even if we don't win the no-link argument. But we'll win the no-link argument by a million miles, which means you can still vote on that. There's no other offense on the case page. They've also extended the oil advantage because they do not have any terms case on the dissent. We read a scenario about why an Indo-Pak war and withdrawal in China because of India economic decline. The reason that happens because of oil price volatility and because the Chinese economy would be spiraling because they do not know what the price of oil is, and it would decimate their currency. That means it collapses the economy, which causes China to test them, escalate a nuclear war, and it causes them to invade areas in Pakistan, which means that it would both escalate to nuclear use. The dissent is not turned away, get you more on the dissent, but the plan solves it because it creates a price stability in all global oil market prices because it ties the domestic price to a global price, which prevent any other nations from trying to oversupply or undersupply, which is also what I'll explain on the count of it. I'll go to the count of it here that Kansas fundamentally misunderstands how the green paradox works, or they really just misunderstand how the plan works. The 2NC cross section. Remember when I asked Kansas what incentivizes the green paradox? It is the other oil producing nations wanting to change domestic prices. The reason the plan overcomes the green paradox is because domestic prices will be insulated from global prices. If a country decides to oversupply the world with oil, that would not change the domestic price because the price of oil would go down and we would just hike the price higher. So the domestic price would always stay the same. We have read 3 cards in the 1AC on this that are all fantastic and say that the plan would lead to a stable domestic price, which means there's no incentive for other countries to start oversupplying or over extracting, which means that there's not any of this turns climate change stuff or turns oil volatility stuff. The 200 do not answer this argument argument, even if you're confused on exactly what the internal link is, Tuner has no game on it, and just as the tax would increase and not, and that the flexible tax would actually solve any of the green paradox stuff. But I'll go to the rate set here. The rate set is actually horrible. They have read the worst impact you could have chosen for the rate hike set. All the impacts are based on a very poorly written 1 article about AI somehow solving all extinction risk. The more for all those impacts in the 200 good scores that AI provides more information. That is not the issue. The response to COVID was not slow because we didn't have information. It was because of political will. Save for asteroids. If you can't explain to me what AI would do to stop a huge crater hurtling toward the Earth, you cannot vote neg on this impact. Plus, the disease impact is wrong. They've dropped 2 warrants in the 1 hour that are not just about COVID that disprove the impact. The first is cooperation. International cooperation of diseases will prevent its spread from going global. And second argument is burnout. If more people, the more lethal the disease is, the least likely it is to spread because the people will die and they will not spread it to other people. Also, COVID is a huge number. They cannot just lie out of their asses in the 2 hour and say that the evidence is predictive. It is not. The evidence is from 2020. COVID obviously sunk that because reactions check that disease, and that disease did not actually cause extinction because of burnout. That means it cannot solve any of, there's no impact to it. Plus, they mishandled the impact turn. The negative has made the argument that only AI can map asteroids in order to deflect them away from the Earth. That independently causes extinction by upending strategic stability. The joint evidence is fantastic. It says developing that technology would be more dangerous than nuclear weapons. Rival states would use it as a total strike to initiate conflicts. It is independently existential. Joint evidence says once the orbits have been mapping, manually will have the required destructive capability exceeding nuclear weapons. Not only does it absolve external warming, but averts a risk greater than nuclear war. And your decision is not get simpler than that. The 200 answer does not make any sense. Evidence does say that asteroid deflection would be used in that way, and the deterrent stuff is not implicated at all. Plus, there's no other argument in the 200. The AI cannot solve the impact scenario. Their evidence specifically says that economic decline is the reason why any of that stuff would escalate, which means that AI cannot solve any of the military parity stuff because their evidence says economic decline is the key internal link that was dropped in the 200 because they forgot to go to case. Now, the turn-scale stuff is wrong. There's not an explanation in the 200 of how the AI can actually solve climate change. We've read evidence saying only a carbon X can solve the only warrant in there. Wanted to see evidence is that AI provides more information, which again is not the issue. The issue is that we don't have the policies in place that can actually solve any of these risks. Now, I'll go to the rest of the side here. The rest of the side makes 0 sense. First, I'll go for uniqueness. The conceded climate change also deletes uniqueness of the side. Climate change will send shockwaves throughout the economy, making the Fed's job impossible. The 1 hour example was food prices, not fossil fuel prices, which means that food prices will independently make the force the Fed to hike rates in the future. That is not answered by the 200. The oil volatility price then is an apt argument because it proves that there's no link because the Fed will not respond to any oil volatility. Plus, we do solve warming, which was all on the case page. So we do solve for food price volatility. Now, not going for the Trump talk because the 1 hour didn't even extend it. But the link evidence, the link fundamentally misunderstands what the concession was. We conceded that the plan does not increase we conceded that the plan increases fossil fuel prices across the economy, not all prices across the economy, which means we can still go for the no link argument. The 1 hour evidence is fantastic. The Jewish evidence says the Fed will not respond to oil prices because the Fed does not account for those when they decide whether or not to raise rates. It is just basic Fed 101. The only evidence they read is from the Central Bank of Ireland, the Central Bank of Canada, not the Central Bank of the United States of America. The 1 hour Nedler evidence says emails from the Fed prove they do not account for fossil fuel risks when they are deciding whether or not to raise rates. The Toddy evidence further substantiates that they do not account for oil. The Rogaber evidence also says that they do not care about oil, which means that the plan only affects fossil fuel prices. There's arguments about the plan affecting other prices. None of the evidence says that would lead to rate hikes. It just says that it would increase inflation. That is not a reason why the Fed would raise rates. Plus, all of our evidence says that the plan would just affect fossil fuel prices. That's what a carbon tax does. It's upstream. It applies on fossil fuel at the source. It means it only affects fossil fuel prices. So there's no link.
Give it up, chat! Can I send like what's that shit called?
Card doc.
Yeah, card docs.
Yeah.
I need that. Yeah, smart. And then I flipped the coin.
This was a fun round.
It was
Energizing.
So I'm about to make somebody's night and I'm about to
I hope it's not
Chat. Yo, chat, I ain't gonna lie to you. Go find out.
He's gonna get some news.
No, facts.
You need to make sure you leave that in the recording.
Everything's going in.
Everything. Oh yeah, nah. If y'all get edited, I swear I'm gonna make a pic. I'm gonna make a pic out of Kansas, bro. Watch. Take out black voice out of fucking recording. That's crazy. Wait, who am I? Right? Look, and that part is not gonna be in the recording anymore. You're giggling over there a little too much.
Hey, that's not our recording. That's theirs.
That's kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
Okay, as a member of CLAB, make your fucking decision.
Bro, I ain't even started looking at this shit. Looked at my phone yet.
I know, start processing.
I'm good.
We're not trying to extend this story.
Yes, we are. Y'all leaving at 12. Great debaters.
Nick docs.
I'm not a judge.
Alright, Chad. Now that both teams are gone, I ended up voting ASAP. Alright, let me actually look at these docs now. that and then come back and.
No, I'm gonna wait here until you
No,
put your
no,
decision.
no. You'll be here 40 minutes late.
Oh, hell no.
Exactly.
You're not delaying this for
Huh, that's what they all say.
That's fair, but also come on. You know, I have literally no one else to debate with for that. That I would have any amount of fun with.
He's lying.
I think it conflicts with the vaccine trial.
You have a good reason for that one. If it doesn't.
When are they due? At 10?
No. Earlier.
Man, someone's gonna be sad, bro.
Every loss is sad.
No, it is the Dimarvin and the policy. Those shits hurt.
Wait, yeah. It's so funny. Palmer just likes to fuck around. Just like text me. I not opposed to, you functioning tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be functioning tomorrow.
Come on.
Oh, relax.
Oh, not you.
Oh.
Not you.
Oh, no.
Don't worry. Oh my gosh. There's like 20 judges who are in, yeah, so.
I would, by the way, but not gonna just like. Don't worry, chat. I'm still alive.
You went quiet there for a bit, so.
Gary is so sad in the Slack. He's just like, why are people still out at decision time? Just reminding you, Gary's sad. Dimarvin.
Good.
Look what you're doing to our Lord and Savior Gary Larson.
ain't my decision, bro. Don't even come, don't, yeah.
You know what's funny? It's been a lot of the big people that's been messing up. DJ was late.
It's not messing up.
You can never email him, right? So when I emailed him over the spring to talk about app things, he like randomly just capitalizes things in emails that like don't make sense. And he always capitalizes his name, Gary, in like big bold letters, no matter what.
But when y'all are done with this room, please fix it. It makes our job so much easier. Okay.
Stop.
No, more and more people are coming in. I'm watching it.
How many are out?
How many are out? About 10? Around 10.
Everyone's eating out right now. I mean, I think it's a joke. I think it's a joke, bro. It's 30 minutes left.
30 minutes left.
30 minutes to decide whose heads and whose tails, right?
I'm fixing the corn right now. I think it's a joke.
We gotta start doing room checks.
Perfect, go ahead.
No, I mean, all rooms.
Exactly, I'll be last.
It's down to 3, Marvin. It's down to 3.
Oh, 3 people? Ah, shit.
You don't want to be last.
I know tripping. Yes, I do.
Okay, never mind.
Cause then I know, y'all know I took my time, respectfully. Fact of fact, alright then. But don't even look up my reviews, bro.
I need to. I'm on him.
Bro,
I'm
trip,
telling
bro.
you.
My nigga! Chill! Sorry, stream.
I've been pressured.
The white man's on me.
Jared coming next.
Oh, Jared, yo, it's a joke, it's a joke, it's a joke, it's a joke. I see what I gotta go through for y'all, bro. Crazy.
Yeah, no, you gotta.
I'm stupid. Why didn't you just tell me to fill it out? I could keep writing my other
Yeah, you could.
Why didn't you just, bro, tap is
Common
fucking
sense.
annoying, bro. Common sense is not used in
Got it.
policy debates. Respectfully. Yo, who's Ethan? I'm playing.
Wow.
Imagine. Uh, 28-1? No, we saw. In fact, yeah, deserves some good speech, bro. 27-3. I'm just saying, bro, like, yeah, like that.
First, what is this header?
We do 2024 externality. Oh yeah, every Northwestern card they got is from 2025 because it's pre-published copies and everything.
It's the fakest thing ever. I don't know why.
Honestly, I think it's so funny that they have found an app that has multiple of those cards that are different articles.
Hey, that's a Darwin card.
It's all Jordan, I just know.
Good job. Wow. Good job, debating.
I'm not done writing my R&B, bro. Don't even look at your computers. Close your computers, bro. Close your computer. Like, chat, tell them to.
You know, Gary might publish it on online before you give the decision.
Oh, I guess I'll just vote now and then. Okay. Y'all ready? There you go, stream. Y'all ready? Alright, hope I don't fuck up. But anyways, alright. I think this was an amazing debate. So much that it confused me. Now let me stop. But ultimately, I ended up voting negative. I think that the negative is ahead on the impact debate and the link analysis. One, I prefer the AI innovation necessary to prevent extinction because the neg is winning the asteroids produce an existential crisis that becomes a threshold that cannot be met by nuclear war. Therefore, even if there is a risk of the hive solving / triggering Indo-Pac war with China, if the plan doesn't happen, obviously, I should err on negative on magnitude and also on time frame because AI becomes a necessary innovation to prevent this. The place where the half had some offense here was the asteroid deflection evidence, but the cards demonstrate that the mapping and development of asteroids are dependent dependent on how effective a government is established on Earth, which is one of the underlying parts of the card. So if that's something that you get offended by all means. But this means that it also determines how it implicates the human species, which will utilize technology. So in a world where the neg is winning the AI office that focuses on asteroids, vaccines, as well as military development, then it makes me presume that this produces a risk of, it reduces the risk of instability. Moreover, the lack of the app engagement with the military and vaccine offense made it difficult to consider how the app counteracts this or provides a sufficient reason that I should prioritize impact or climate change over the impacts of the negative. Two, obviously the neg needs to win a link to the app So I think the as fast change in the tax produces a sudden shift to the economy because it taxes everything such as energy, food, mineral, and other prices, which produces inflation. Now they'll affirm to have had a piece of evidence that talked about how it won't change because aside from things like food and energy and things like that, the things stay the same or like isn't impacted. But I feel like there are other things from the next card that says that there's other variables that aren't considered, and therefore there is a risk that the firm produces that. Hopefully that made sense. Again, I'm not a policy debater. I'm sorry, chat, or you're welcome, chat. It depends on how you do it. Questions, comments, concerns, racist jokes.
So Tunar like doesn't have the Sino and no pack war defense, just like doesn't really manage. So how do you think the Dissad accesses that?
Well, in a world where they're going for the asteroid advantage, the card detailed how there's a distinction between what is the impact or the existential crisis between an asteroid and nuclear war. It gives the examples or basically impact comparison of how a nuclear war would determine like hundreds of thousands, if not millions, depending on if it's going to like certain nuclear sensors or whatever, or like community sensors. But later on in the card, it talks about how asteroids create a form of extinction that isn't possible to reach through nuclear war. So yes, there is a world where like the AF is winning that, and that could outweigh. But in a world where like the card does that analysis for me, I think that's like.
So like nuke war doesn't cause extinction.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. And then warming impact. Did you think it was mitigated by green paradox or by Turin's case?
So the climate change portion, I think, was mitigated by the AI offense on like vaccines and these other things, sure. But I think if there could have been more analysis of how climate change is something that like determines how like I don't know like something AI or something like that. You know, some more impact comparison on that question because sure, like in a world where the AF is winning climate change is happening, I need an analysis of why that proves the status quo isn't an option. Now granted, you might have done that. Go ahead.
Yeah, if we win climate change, 100% risk, the app solves it. So like just like green paradox wrong, we have 100% solvency, 100% impact. Then if we win any risk of mitigation to the Dissad, either from like the no-link arguments, which
Right.
didn't seem persuasive to you, or just like impact defense, then I guess why wouldn't that mean that climate change outweighs the Dissad?
Well, I'll put it like this. If you're going for the app, I might be mistaken, but if you're going for the warming advantage, something that can help is proving why warming leads to extinction. Like, obviously, that's the thing. Now, you just weigh that on the asteroid stuff. But then you utilize instead of going for, like, oil, you just use more offense of, like, how that is, like, more, how that's a better impact than, asteroids because like either time frame, magnitude, whatever, and then you just mitigate the lengths and say, well, actually going through it fast is good for the economy or good for like climate or something like that. I think that would be good for me. That might not make sense, but yeah.
Okay, I don't have any more questions.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm good.
Kansas.
Yeah, so thoughts on places. Okay, so obviously, like Emory was talking about how there was not impact defense in the 2NR. Thoughts on places where the 2NR could save time on Dissad or Condo to get to case to actually extend some defense as well.
I mean, in a world where you're going for these asteroid business and like a lot of the internal links include like vaccines and like this military business, I think that could be an inroads for you to add more offense on what like this instability thing is. Because if you extend like the militarism stuff, I guess there might be some cards that say like the way in which militarism is in relation to instability or like relations with that is good. I don't know, like I might be tweaking, but I would feel like that could just help it all.
That makes sense.
I don't know what policy cards look like in the world, unfortunately.
Yeah. Trying to think. My brain is fried because it is like hour 15.
You think your brain is fried, bro? No, even chat. You see this? Yo, what?
I think I'm good for now. I will definitely email you with some questions.
Fuck. Okay. I'll let Jake Green answer the
So,
question.
knowing prep sheets will probably end up with you in a rates debate again, so I do want to pick your brain. I know what you thought about the dissent.
Okay.
But I'm too tired to think.
Have fun. Hopefully this impacts my ranking. If it doesn't, I'm sad for you. I tried. Y'all saw. I tried. That's all you can get from me. But yes. Nevertheless, high speaks though. I like the anime reference. I saw that. But yeah, that's about it. Alright, cool. Take care, folks. Don't hate me. If you do, play basketball.
Tomorrow?
We can do it tonight. We can do it tonight.
Oh, I can sleep, but tomorrow?
Basketball to
I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna play nothing for the rest of the week.
What?
I gotta learn how to do multi, bro. Fuck. And this is me trying to learn. So, what do you think would be a viable app option in this debate?
Like half ballot?
Yes. Like that a judge should consider.
Either advantage outweighs dissent.
Okay. And then what else would you like to consider? No. There's like half always.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Kansas. What would you do better?
go to case in the 2 hour, I guess, the question I asked. I don't know. My brain's fried right now, so I'm not really sure.
I'm a 1N, so be faster and quicker.
Sure.
And large.
Can you get off my back then?
Yeah, can you get off my charger?